Hello, welcome back to Dress to Quest. I'm Nathan, I'm the DM here. Thank you for joining us this evening, or whatever time of day it may be if you're elsewhere. And yeah, let's jump right into this. We'll do our player intros and then we're going to do a quick recap and we're going to jump right into the story since we left off kind of with an intense moment last time. So let's start with Chris.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. I play Aiza Marley, human wizard from Tamish. And we are under the sea.
Awesome. Next up, we have Erica.
All right. Hi, my name's Erica. I play Rin Swiftbow, Beastmaster Ranger, not Beast Elf. And normally every game I summon a falcon named Bert, but this session I'm summoning a giant frog named Bert. Very, very distinct.
Amazing. I can't wait for Bert to actually make an appearance today. Bert was kind of off on the sidelines. I don't know. He was feeling sick or something. Next up, we have Amy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amy. I play an Eldrin or a Ladrin, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And I am a cleric, and I am also in the winter season.
Indeed. Next up, we have Eric.
Baby shark.
Oh, no.
Well, I can't escape it, whether it be with my toddler or here we are with sharks beneath us. We're going to be going down the water. I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm playing Volric the Gray. He is a Rune Knight fighter and a College of Swords bard, and he's just happy to be here.
Yes, and you just almost summoned the big bad with that little summoning ritual. Next up, we have Space.
Hey guys, in Space, I play Aspen, the Aasimar Hexblade Warlock Divine Soul Sorcerer, and I just want to bother Volric all the time, so can't wait to get into that.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Josh or Winged Horizon.
Hello, I am Captain Shifty Capone at your service, or you could just call me Shifty. I am a halfling rogue that is, well, I have a little bit of magical abilities to use. I'm an arcane trickster, known to be a smuggler, but that's just alleged. And so, we're here in the dungeon, or rather, I guess the fort, and we're ready to storm the fort, I suppose, of a Sahuagin, and I'm pretty excited to play that.
Yeah.
My name is Josh, and I'm Winged Horizon. Forgot to mention that.
No worries. I mean, I think you've already kind of stormed it. I mean, you've kept relatively quiet, I guess. There hasn't been a huge... oh, hey, Jackson chat. Hi. There hasn't... Orchidea. There hasn't been a huge onslaught of Sahuagin swarming you yet, but we'll see. Okay, well, with that, let's do a quick recap here as we jump right into this. So last time we left off, our heroes had made their way south to the Sahuagin Fortress to go on a reconnaissance mission. Upon scouting out the exterior of the fortress, this jagged island jutting out of the water, you fought your way into a small guard post. Scouting further within, you started to find some clues as to what was going on. It seems that this level is still under construction, and there was big empty rooms with tools left to the side, bits of dust and rubble. And as Shifty and Rin pushed deeper in under the cover of the shadows to see what was up ahead, Shifty discovered a room with a set of stairs going down into the water, and there were multiple prisoners or slaves that were working on this room, actively working on it, carving into the walls with pickaxes and tools as Sahuagin lorded over them. You all decided to, I guess, do kind of a prison break, and you went down into the room using some deception and going within under the disguise of disguise self, alter self to look like Sahuagin. You got the drop on these Sahuagin once more, but this fight ended up being a little bit more challenging than expected, as there was a magic user that cast a spell of spirit guardians that kind of tore into all of you, as some of the other Sahuagin, being driven by the blood in the air, seemed to fight more ferociously. And as you were actively trying to eliminate these Sahuagin, one of them was trying to flee to perhaps warn more Sahuagin or something else, you're not sure, but you are desperately trying to stop them from escaping the room and alerting others. And this is where we're going to pick up, is right here in this battle, as most of the Sahuagin lay slain around you. The slaves themselves have actually rose up, they've grabbed their weapons and are trying to fight alongside you, but they are severely exhausted trying to aid you. And one of the Sahuagin is trying to push past Chenyar and Rin. So, with all of that, let's jump right into this. Chenyar, you are up first in the initiative order. So, what would you like to do? You have this Sahuagin that is there with a big warhammer trying to shove past you, and you can hear fighting still happening in the room beyond.
Chenyar will reach out, and this dark magic will form around her hand, and she will cast Inflict Wounds upon the Sahuagin.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and roll your attack, and let's see if you can hit.
And I'm casting at first level.
Okay. Okay.
That is 17 to hit.
That definitely hits. As you grab onto their rubbery flesh, let's see the damage. Come on. To that damage, is it still? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh my goodness, 16 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
And she will say to Rin, we can't let him pass.
And as you grab on Chenyar, what does it look like as this Sahuagin is killed as you grab onto them and cast this spell?
Oh. So as she grabs a hold of him, and the dark magic comes out from her hand and starts to coalesce around his face.
Okay.
You see a skeleton almost form, and it just then sucks in, and he pulls in, and
Yeah,
the
and
black magic takes him.
as it pulls in, as the almost weird Rin, this weird fish-like skeletal face kind of, and then gets pulled in, the body sucks and dehydrates and falls to the ground. They are dead. Chenyar, you still have movement and bonus. Do you want to move? Do you have a bonus action you would like to use?
Do I see any other creatures coming towards us?
Make a perception check.
Okay. $26.
Wow. You take a second as this body
On the ground?
flops to the ground. You look around the corner. You don't see anything coming. You hear the combat in the other room.
Do I hear anything else?
No, you don't. You don't hear anything coming. You don't hear
Good answer.
anything else beyond as you kind of focus in and try to listen. You just hear the fight in the other room. Would you like to move?
Yes, I would. So since I hear the fight in the other room, I'm going to turn to Rin, and I'm going to say, guard this corridor, and if anything comes close, just let us know. And then she's going to move over to, and again, it's been a while since since last session.
Yeah.
So it's 5, 10, 15. She will see here. What does she see?
Yeah, you see what you see on the map. So you come around the corner, you see there are multiple dead Sahuagin on the floor. There is only 2 up right now. You see one is trying to attack Volric over here, and you see another one is trying to attack Oceanus and Aspen. Both of them look severely hurt.
Okay. She will get closer.
Okay. You have 15 more feet.
15. There.
Okay.
Let me just take a real quick look and see if I have any bonus actions that I can do for healing.
Mm,
No, the only thing I have is Spare the Dying, which nobody's dead just yet. So, I will just have to wait for my next turn to do
Okay.
healing.
Excellent. Then it is Oceanus. So Oceanus takes out his trident, or he still has his trident out. He's defending against the Sahuagin there. He's going to push and then try to skewer the Sahuagin. He gets 2 attacks. Misses with a natural 1, but he hits with that 19, dealing 6 points of damage, and that kills that Sahuagin as he drives the trident up through the chest, pulls it out, and they flop to the ground. They're out. Oceanus looks over, sees you there, Chenyar, and in Elven says, "Did you get him?" Excellent. And he's going to turn and sprint over towards Volric to try to assist as best he can. So it's 15 feet of movement, and yeah, he'll push past you, Volric, kind of squeezing between your massive giant form, and gets into a flanking position with one of the slaves. Okay, that takes us to Aspen. There's one left.
and is that the one Volric is holding?
Yeah, right here. Yeah, I believe, Volric, you are grappling that one.
Yeah, I sure am.
Yeah.
Got him by the neck.
You are okay. And how hurt does he look? Like really hurt?
Bloodied.
Bloody. Okay. I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast. Yeah.
Okay, go
Can
for
I
it.
can I do that around Volric, or do I have to
ooh.
get in because he's big?
Yeah,
So,
I would say you could certainly try. You probably will. There's a good chance of hitting Volric if you do that from your angle. If
that's
you try to.
fine. No, I'm not gonna hit Volric. I'm gonna move. I don't know if. Oh nope, don't want to do that. Can I just push past Volric as well and like stand on top of this dead body?
Yeah. Since Volric is so big, I would say that we would consider it like difficult terrain, but I think you have plenty of movement to get over there. 5.
Okay. Okay. I won't Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, you can
but,
totally do that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna drop my I'm gonna drop my shield.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit this guy with two-handed.
Excellent.
battle
Okay.
axe.
Awesome. So the shield goes to the side, and you grab the battle axe 2 hands. Go ahead and make those.
26.
Oh, that's an or no, you don't have advantage.
Yeah, I don't have advantage.
Uh,
26.
you
Oh
def-
wait. Yeah, no, I don't have
You don't.
advantage.
You
You're right.
definitely hit. You definitely hit.
Okay, 13 points of damage.
Oh,
And
amazing.
that's all I can do.
Okay, so with the big hit, this.
I'm sorry. As my bonus action, I'm gonna use one of my second levels to get back my sorcery points.
Okay.
And that's all I can do.
Excellent. You slam the axe into the Sahuagin, pushing him up against the wall. They look incredibly hurt, but they manage to push the axe out of their chests as they kind of make this weird sucking air sound towards you. And that takes us to Shifty. So you see them all fighting there in the corner, just the one left. Actually, where? Oh, you were way up there. Yeah. What would you like to do? And you're muted. There you go.
I can't see them actually. Yeah, so I can hear them though. I'm sure. I'm going to take a bonus action to dash around the back here. Let me go ahead and see what we got there. I can go 25 feet, so that's 25 here.
Awesome.
And then
Okay.
here as well with my dash. That's
Okay.
my bonus. And these are the bad dude right here, right? Is it orc bad? Or is it...
No. The bad one is around the corner. You cannot see them from your angle. You could barely see them poking out, but you would have to kind of. There you go. Now you can see them. So you see all the slaves there are trying to push in and hit the Sahuagin with their pickaxes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Is this spot right here? Is this the way down?
Where Volric is standing, that is the top of the stairs.
Gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say I couldn't see the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I have to go down here to be able to see this for some reason. Okay, there we go.
For
And
those
then,
of you
I
in
see
chat,
orcs,
this is what
and
Shifty
I wanna
sees.
shoot between them if I can.
Yeah. So again, if you roll like a natural 1, there's a chance you'll hit one of the slaves, but go for it.
That's Yeah. All right. So I'm going to take out one of my daggers. And
Okay.
just go and throw my dagger at this guy in the middle.
Amazing. Let's
And that's
see.
going to be my main action. I already took my
16.
bonus.
Okay. A 16. That hits. And
Okay.
you get sneak attack because they're adjacent to allies.
Bye-bye, Sahuagin.
I do. So let me go ahead and get that menu open here and click for the damage.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. So it looks like 18 points of damage.
All right, Shifty. What does it look like as you kill this Sahuagin?
So yeah, Shifty comes running around. He can hear all of you guys struggling and trying to, and it's just become like a vicious rabid animal. So he just, I just pull like my blade out of like one of like side bandolier things, just pull it out, throw it up, grab it, and then throw it. And it just does like right between the, right over the shoulder of these okay, it's right under the, maybe right under the arm of the
The Hobgoblin? Okay.
hobgoblin. Thank you, the
Yeah.
hobgoblin, and hits the thing right in the chest.
Okay, yeah, the Hobgoblin is currently struggling, trying to push
I know that,
their
yeah.
pickaxe into him, and that you, Volric and Aspen, you suddenly just see this flash of silver and steel under their arm, right into the chest of the Sahuagin, and they just slump against the wall, slowly flopping onto the stone below. As they drop, we come out of combat. As you all kind of look around, you see all the slaves panting, the dead bodies everywhere. There's kind of a strong scent of iron and blood in the air. And Chenyar, as you sit and listen with that 26 that you got, you don't hear anything coming as the silence comes over the room. What would you all like to do next?
I would immediately like to start casting Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that.
Chinyar is going to peek her head around the corner and motion to Ren to come.
Okay.
That is okay.
Okay. Aize, you're down the hallway in the dark. You can hear the combat come to a conclusion as you're kind of fumbling down the hall. Do you go into the room and join everyone? Yep. Okay. Excellent. So Aize eventually
I'll move in.
comes around the corner, and then you come into this room, Aize, and the light from the torches in here is almost kind of blinding bright because your eyes were so adjusted to the absolute pitch dark in the other room. Oh,
I know
I know Al. And you all collect here in the room with these various folk around, panting, out of breath. You can now see that you appear to be standing in a room with what look to be orcs. There's a couple of hobgoblins and then a couple of lizard folk, all standing there panting, looking around at you all kind of expectantly, not sure of what to do. What would you all like to do?
May I speak up for that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I'm going to just imagine me as the halfling as a girl behind Volric right now. That's what I look like. Oh, that's how short I am. So yeah, after throwing the knife, I'm sure like the hobgoblin and the lizard folk right there looked at me like, "Holy crap!" But I'm the one who kind of roused them up just a few less than a few seconds ago. So I go, "Freed folk, we are here to help you get free, but to live, I need you to listen. They are going to know that the ones below will hear that you are not working. I need you to pretend to work if you can. Keep making some noise. We are going to help you escape in just a moment."
Okay. All right. The lizard folk, the hobgoblin and orc all kind of look between each other.
Can I roll persuasion or?
You would roll a persuasion roll.
May I assist?
Sure. What do you say to assist?
I'm going to say in common, Captain Capone, we are here, right, to help these poor souls, and I think what you are trying to ask them to do makes perfect sense. And then she's going to look at the prisoners. I know you are eager to get out of here, but we must work together and ensure that these creatures, and she's going to look down at the Sahuagin, do not detect that we are here, but we are here to help.
Okay.
So she's going to try and help what Shifty said.
Okay, yeah. So Shifty, you would have gotten advantage, but it looks like you got a 22. As the two of you look towards all of these slaves and give this speech.
I'm gonna take out my rations as well.
Okay.
I have it. Looks like
Okay.
it's like 4 rations.
Yeah.
So I'm
so-
gonna hand out some rations.
All right, you start handing the rations out. All of the slaves are looking between each other, a bit unsure. Let me do something here.
I hope they know common.
Okay. One of the orcs steps forward, up to you, Shifty. This guy steps up. He's about, he's approaching 7 foot tall, so he is just looming over you. But you can see that a lot of the muscle is kind of atrophied away. He looks a bit weak, and he kind of is weakly letting the pickaxe kind of drag on the ground as he approaches and looks down at you, looks over at the rest of the slaves and back at you. He gently reaches a big meaty hand out towards the ration that you are extending out. Takes it.
You give us more of this for everyone here. We'll keep working.
Food, and we'll try to do some healing as we can.
Just one thing. You promised to get us out of here, yeah?
But that's why I came here.
That's the goal.
Alright. Alright, you heard the little one. All you lot get back to work as best you can. May as well try to break up a bit of the structural integrity, I've heard that word before. And, give these Sahuagin a bit of trouble later on down the road. Go on.
And he starts throwing the other rations to the other slaves, and they start grabbing them, tearing into the food, and they weakly kind of lumber over to the walls. You see some of them don't start working right away. They just sit down, kind of taking a breath in, closing their eyes. But that one orc you spoke with is able to lift up their tool and start smacking into the wall. You see them not really doing the work that was assigned. They're just kind of slamming their tools against the wall, not really putting their full effort into it. But that sound is starting to fill the room once more, as a handful of these people start doing the work.
I'm going to take out my rations that I have and give them to him, as well as the water skin.
Oh yeah, they very happily take it and start drinking and eating the food. One of it looks to be a female hobgoblin kind of shakily takes the food and looks up at you. Thank you.
Do they look as if they look like they're starved, and they look like they haven't really had much to drink, so they're in bad shape, but do they look like they're injured? Like
make a medicine roll for me.
I don't think I know.
Yeah.
6.
Base level medicine, like you are a cleric, so you can kind of get, the basics, and what you described is what you see, right? They look malnourished and dehydrated. But beyond that, you can't really see much more.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Aspen cast something to heal them as well before they left.
Yeah, Aspen, you said you were going to cast...
No, that was for our party.
Got
That
it,
was not
okay.
for the slaves.
Got
Oh,
it.
it's not a ladies?
Whoever doesn't need it, it can go to the slaves.
Okay, how much healing if you want to distribute that out?
I think Shinyar got her and Vorik, myself. That's 3. I don't know about Ren.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking over the notes that were written on my
Great.
last. Not sure if that was.
Rin is hurt, and it should be in there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I would-
looks like my current hit points is 45 out of 52.
How many
Yeah,
can you
so- I can
Okay.
get up to 6 creatures.
Okay.
Oceanus was also hurt, right?
Correct. Oceanus is doing all right though. He wasn't hurt that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess the last two can go to the two slaves that were standing by me before.
Okay. How many hit points do they get?
10.
10. Okay.
Er,
Nice.
Everybody gets 10.
Yeah, everybody gets 10.
Thanks.
So Chinyar will say to the group, I've used quite a number of spells. I'm not sure what our next move should be.
I'm completely drained myself. That last healing spell, the last little bit of divine energy I had. I suggest we take a rest for at least an hour, but if we do, I lose alter self. So I don't think I would be as effective anymore.
That's fine. We do need to rest anyway, I suppose. Mon Capitan, if you could check the staircase below to make sure that there is no guards in the immediate vicinity.
These
While the
creatures
slaves
seem...
are
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, sir.
while the slaves are covering the sound, then we can take our leave and recover what magic we can. Well, take our rest and recover what magic we can.
I happened to notice that they seemed attracted to blood, which kind of makes sense, I guess, in some ways. They got into a frenzy when they injured anyone.
They are sharks. Shark-like.
That being the case, I think we should be very careful around that water over there and make sure no blood gets into that water. And if we're injured, I'm not sure how that would work with this blood in the water.
Oh, I think that's an easy solution. Don't get injured.
I'm uninjured. I'll be willing to scout ahead. When we after we've had a rest, of course. I don't want to be alone down there.
As he sits down, breaks out a spell book.
Okay.
Breaks out arcane. Right, archive.
Oh, yes, of course.
And just as a note, as you all are having this discussion, there is the one Sahuagin that you, Shifty, specifically did not kill. They are lying there, still shallow breathing, knocked unconscious. I don't know what you would like to do with them. They are just lying there. But I wanted to point that out.
I'll let Aize and Oceanus point him out. I guess after I end up dallying over there and be like, Aize, I saved one for you and Oceanus. Hopefully you'll be able to find a way to communicate with somehow to get some kind of information. I'll talk to the...
I believe Oceanus has already stated he does not speak nor understand Sahagin, correct?
That is
And
correct.
I have said before, comprehend languages is caster only, and it only enables me to understand a language. It does not enable the other person to understand me. Thirdly,
could you use picture?
you only have a certain amount of time to recover and then continue. I would recommend, Mon Capitan, that in the event that you wish to take a prisoner, you should do it while we are exiting. Now is not the time for an interrogation that would doubtless be time-consuming.
I take my rapier and slip it through the thing's throat.
Okay. The breathing comes to a stop as the rapier slips in, and they are deceased. Okay, so
I'm sorry. I'll just pick up my battle axe. Not my battle axe. My shield, and put it back on my back and look at Vorik. I hope I was sufficient enough in battle for you to, not miss your friend as much. I mean, it's a big role to fill.
You smell better too.
Thank you. You did good today. I won't lie, I had no faith in your acting abilities, but you proved me wrong.
Well, you had nothing to prove to me. I can see what you're capable of. you and our cleric, you reversed those cure spells pretty well and reduced them to, Jesus, what was it? A necromantic power, plus your axe. Don't be distracted by the little child hanging off my arm.
She's so cute. I can't help it.
Like ancestral guardians, you got your ancestral guardians on your shoulder.
Oh. But
I have a proposal to the group. So, hold on. Okay. You guys go ahead and talk. When I'm free, we'll talk again.
Yeah, Fulric begins his short rest.
I bring some closer, like everybody has, like, we need to find a way to get them off. My boat will not take them on. I can take some now?
No, I think the wisest course of action is to have our friend Oceanus go back, swim to the Diora, and fetch the rowboat. Bring that back to the shoreline, conceal it, and then wait for us to return. When we exit, we'll have both boats ready and more than enough space for everyone.
that sounds like a fabulous idea. I mean, we do want to get everyone off this island together.
Oceanus, are you up for a swim?
How do you know it? I would not say no, though, to some sort of assistance in keeping me quiet. As I said, I'm more of a fighter, not as stealthy as these two. But I will take the risk, of course, if you don't have the resources.
Well, I do
Oceanus,
believe that we're...
Agize, I believe, was about to say something.
I do believe that some of us might have invisibility potions or invisibility spells, not I.
How
But,
long do you think? Oh, my apologies again.
No, go ahead.
How long do you think it'll take you, Oceana, to swim?
Back to the Diora, which is about a mile away. I don't know.
About an hour.
About an hour. Maybe a little less than an hour.
So DM, if I cast a spell which requires concentration, does that mean I will not get my short rest in?
If you were concentrating for the hour during the short rest, I don't think you would get your short rest because you're having to focus on that. Yeah,
Okay.
That would be my ruling.
You're worried about being spotted in the water, I assume, because we killed everything else on the way here.
Yes, I am a little
Rose, please
concerned.
keep the will down there.
I am a little concerned considering that I don't know if I didn't see any patrols around the island when I was underwater, but there were so many of them at that main entrance under the water, and I have to imagine they must be sending patrols out. And from my experience, Sahuagin, they tend to become a bit more active at night. They have incredibly remarkable vision under the water.
Does anyone have a spare invisibility potion?
We don't. We have one for each of us. But I have a proposal.
Do you
Which
have
is
one
a-
for me?
Yeah.
I choose then to give my invisibility to Oceana. I can cast invisibility on myself.
You have another spell left then.
I will have to do some divine recovery, and I believe that I can get back some of my used spells. However, it will require concentration, and I will not be able to get any benefit if I don't have a rest, so the potion would work, and then I can cast.
That sounds like a fair plan. I was going to suggest we save those invisibility potions for escape if we need to, if things go south, which they probably will. We don't want to have any one of us without an invisibility potion or spell, Janura. So my proposal is this. after we rest, can't be a long one. The patrols will be coming. Then we're going to leverage our friend Rin, another pass without trace spell on all of us, including Oceanus. We would head down with Rin and Shifty in front, scouting. The rest of us will be at a distance where we don't upset their ability to stealth. We can use Aspen and my ability to message that cantrip and scout out as much as we can. At the same time, Oceanus, if he feels brave enough, using the pass without trace, can swim to the Diora, get the rowboat, bring it back, hide it, and wait for us.
I think the pass without trace magic will be sufficient. I've seen what she's capable of, and it's remarkable. I think it will do the trick.
All right, that means he'd be leaving after our rest then.
I'll do that. I think it's a good idea that we're doing, but we all need to rest for sure. That was a pretty fierce battle. And I start brushing my shoulders, acting like I got a little dirt on it. Quite a tough battle there. So I will talk with these freedmen and see if I can get some information during this while you take a rest.
Maybe you want to check down the corridor first.
We need people to keep watch.
Well, certainly. Which corridor are we talking about?
The stairs with the water at the bottom.
I can stick my head down there. And...
I am worried about the other corridor, where we came from. I don't know if there's any other passages here that we would have to worry about someone coming to check on these Sagawagans.
We keep a guard.
Okay. So, it sounds like y'all are gonna post up here, take your short rest. Shifty, are you gonna take a peek down the stairs?
I think it's probably not gonna. I'm just gonna like look at the entrance, like with my, I have like a mask on. I wish I had a bit already, but it's a mask. It kind of goes to my face, and it's just it looks really kind of aquatic, pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna just kind of quietly like sneak down there, just like kind of like peek my head around the corner, see if there's anybody in the immediate area.
Okay, so you want to just go to the bottom of the stairs then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I'm just trying to stay like, I'm not going to explore. I'm just going to make sure to see what the first area.
All right. So as everybody gathers up and starts taking a rest, Shifty, you get that helm on and start to descend into the water. As you come into contact with the water, you feel that cold sensation hit your feet. And as you start to go deeper and deeper, you feel it rise up, collecting around your chest and kind of taking your breath away a bit. This water is very chilly as you're starting to head into the fall, like into late fall actually. So the water itself kind of takes your breath away. Not cold enough yet to any worry of hypothermia, but you manage to sink below the inky dark waters. I would like you to make a stealth check for me as you go down the stairs.
Kobold's Piss, this is called. The things I do for the realms.
All right, let's see that stealth check.
Lorwick is standing at the top of the stairs, crouching,
Okay.
Actively using my perception for any sights and sounds. And before he goes down, I say, don't go too far.
Okay. All right. You all...
Kenyar's going to go to the other corridor, and she's going to listen to see if there's anything. All right, Dan.
Yeah. So, Chenyar, you're standing at the other corridor. We'll resolve that in a minute. As Shifty, you disappear below the water. All of you who are watching, just watch as Shifty goes beneath to head into the lower levels.
Big camper, yeah.
Shifty, I'm gonna I know you're only going to the bottom of the stairs, but just in case, I'm gonna send you to the other map.
It's really dark down here.
And let me get your token. I'm assuming you just see darkness right now, Shifty?
I do have night vision with this
Right. But I mean, sorry, on your screen, Josh.
Yes, it's all dark out here. It feels quite scary.
Okay, I'm gonna give you vision here. So, Shifty, it's a really weird sensation because you are having to force yourself to let all of your air out so that you actually sink onto the stone. Or you can start swimming. But regardless, you start to have that weird slow-mo kind of walk as you start going down. But then that helmet, something happens and you start to feel the water almost parting around your skin, and you start to move through it effortlessly. And you find yourself swimming as if there was very little resistance. Descending down these tiled steps, you find yourself in this portion of the fortress it appears to be complete. Instead of the rough hewn stone walls at right angles, everything is covered meticulously in tiles and mosaics, like those officers' quarters that you saw. But this is just some sort of welcoming chamber as you come down into the stairs, and you find yourself at the bottom of the stairs in a large open room covered in mosaics, and you see the mosaics once more depicting raging waters and storms with massive shark creatures devouring beings of the land. And around you can see these huge pillars rising up. There's bits of algae and seaweed gently undulating off of the pillars. And to your right and left, you see hallways extending out into the darkness. Directly in front of you, there is another hallway extending out into the darkness. So this appears to be some large chamber with 3 hallways, one extending north, one extending west, one extending east. What would you like to do?
I would like to do perception if I can hear anything.
Yes, go ahead and make a perception roll. A 16? Okay. You carefully listen. You look into the darkness around you, and it is pitch black down here. Thankfully, you have your night dark vision from the helmet. Looking around, you just see the darkness of these hallways. There's a bit of silt in the water itself, gently drifting like dust. Everything is quiet. You don't hear anything, and you don't see anything. Every once in a while you can hear kind of deeper within, just muffled, strange, kind of echoing sounds. You are underwater, so sound is traveling much better. But nothing that is... You can't pick out anything, any details. It's just, the ambient sounds of movement far off somewhere in this fortress, but nothing nearby.
I'm going to...
Swim back?
Swim myself back up to the center as I caught my... got my bearings.
Okay, so you're swimming back to the group?
Yeah, I just would spend like 2 to 5 minutes down there.
Yeah, you all Volric, you anxiously wait at the top of the stairs for 5 minutes, and then towards the end of that 5 minutes, you start to see bubbles as Shifty rises up out of the water.
Well, this is good.
And as this is happening, we go over to Chenyar, who's spending some time by herself in the corridor. What are you doing, Chenyar? Are you leaning against the wall? Are you sitting down on the stone? I know you're listening, but what is your posture? What do you look like?
What I look like is I am leaning against the wall, and I am every now and then turning to look and listen intently down the hall to see if I hear any movement, any noise whatsoever.
Okay, go ahead and make a
I'm
perception.
focusing on what's down the hall.
Make a perception roll.
Okay. $26.
Wow. Now that the battle is done, you sit and listen very carefully over a period of probably 15 minutes, becoming used to the kind of just the sound of all of the pickaxes and tools clanging against the wall in the other room, the kind of gentle speaking of your companions. there's a moment where there's kind of a break in the work, as they're not truly working, you know, and they're very tired. So there are moments where they kind of stop for maybe a period of like 30 seconds to a minute, and you just kind of hear the muffled sounds of your companions on the other side. You hear somewhere deeper within to the north. It's almost imperceptible, but you do hear some kind of clicks and guttural sounds of that Sahuagin language you become used to. It's not approaching, it's not moving away, it's not moving, but you detect it every once in a while. It is so remarkably quiet that you have to sit here for a good, 15 to 20 minutes just trying to pick out every little detail of the soundscape around you. So there.
Do I know how far? Do I have like an idea of how far it is? Like just an estimate kind of deal.
Make a survival roll for me.
Okay. $20.
Yeah, it's
really good.
It is very. Yeah, you are rolling super well. Estimate at least a good, over 100 feet away, probably more. But there's so much stone in this fortress that it's really, really hard to tell. But you're guessing it's got to at least be over 100 feet away. This is somewhere far to the north, relative, far as in like walking distance, but yes, not close enough that it seems that your combat did not alert them if they did even hear it. So
okay. She will quietly go back to the group, and she will tell them what she has heard, and what she suspects.
Okay. So as Chenyar, you go and rejoin with everyone, letting them know of this. Before we address that, I really quickly want to go around to see what Aspen, Ayize, Rin, and Volric are. What are you all doing while Shifty and Chenyar are doing? Well, Volric, you're with Shifty. You're doing that. So the three of you, Ayize, Rin, and Aspen, what are you doing?
Short rest.
Okay.
Ayize will sit down. I'll sit down and, as I said, I'll consult Archive.
Okay.
And work on recovering arcane energy.
Okay, so you're doing the arcane recovery with Archive. Okay. Yeah, you sit there consulting with Archive, going over your notes, going over your spells, as he kind of gives you a little pep talk.
Oh yes, I know you have more in you. You definitely can do more. Yes, just focus on these spells in particular and recite. Make sure you know.
So you're doing that. What about you, Rin?
Normally I would do all that perception stuff, but most of that work was already done. So she's just gonna go sit down with Bert, who was totally here the whole time.
Yeah,
and and even though he's like kind of squishy and because it's a giant frog, she's gonna kind of like lay her cape strategically and kind of use him as a pillow for the rest.
That sounds perfect, because he is like a squishy amphibian, so he kind of like splays out on the ground as you put your cape down and lean up against the giant frog as you take your rest. Volric, did you want to say something, Volric? No?
Yeah, just that I'm actively guarding. I'm using my perception actively guarding, because at any time we might get visitors, and I want to be ready to grapple the hell out of anybody that steps up through the water.
Of course. You can go ahead and make a perception roll as well. And Aspen, what about you? What are you doing as all of this is happening?
I have my axe laid out before me, and I'm like on my knees, muttering in Infernal, asking my mother to grant me more power.
Okay, yeah. As you have your eyes closed, muttering in Infernal, in that dark void, as you focus, you see a little pinprick of orange red light that suddenly blossoms out as a face is revealed, and you see that porcelain face of your mother coming out of the darkness towards you as she says to you, "You did so well. I am so proud of you. I can, of
Thank you,
course,
Mother.
give you a bit more for today."
That's all I need. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. As you feel that energy be restored back to you.
21 for me.
21. Volric, you don't hear anything approaching as you sit at the top of the stairs there, keep continually glancing down into the inky waters below. As Chenyar comes back into the room and informs all of you that of what you heard, Chenyar, that there are potentially others to the north. So,
I could not tell how many, right? Yeah, I couldn't tell how many.
no, this was like, again, this is so remarkable that you heard it.
With that, she's going to, sit in a different corner than Aspen,
Uh-huh.
and do her own recovery of her divine,
Excellent.
and also take a short rest.
Okay. What does it look like when you do your divine recovery, Chenyar? Do you just meditate or?
She meditates. She's going to be facing either the corner or the wall, and she's going to go into a almost like a trance-like state. And Rin will recognize that as like sort of an elven thing. And she's not going to speak at all, but more make almost a light hum noise.
Yeah. Chenyar, as you're doing that over this period of an hour, you as well, in this moment of calm and focus, you start to see in your mind's eye familiar mists rising up in the darkness, these wisps and tendrils of almost white misty clouds that start to extend out before you as if they're rising up from some unseen ground. And you watch as they start to coalesce into figures, into shapes of people. One of them rises up directly in front of you, and you see the face start to take shape. And you see the form of the body itself. Two things start to form behind them. You start to see these extended, almost like extra arms extending out and then cascading down into large wings. And you start to see the face forming details, and you start to recognize the features of Aspen forming in front of you. And those two large wings behind Aspen get sucked back into the body and disappear, and you see her face kind of recoil a bit in pain. And you just hear a gentle voice in your head. Just remember what we talked about. Our little deal.
Yes, I remember. And with that, she will open her eyes. And what she said, by the way, yes, I remember, is in Sylvan.
Okay. Does anybody speak Sylvan? Okay. As the short rest comes to an end, as Chenyar opens her eyes, nothing assaults you in that time period, so you all can take a short rest. If there's anything else you wanted to do during that short rest, please let me know. I know Shifty had something, but yeah, Chenyar?
I'd like to recover some of my hit die.
Go for it.
During the short rest.
Yeah, everybody can go ahead, roll your hit die, and all that stuff. Hi, Blue Flame. Nice to see you again. And yeah, you all do that. Shifty, you had one other thing you wanted to do during the short rest?
Yes, I only spent like 5 minutes going down and checking the thing. She said there was more. She heard more people down the hallway.
To the north, yes.
Okay. I would like to talk to the orc that seemed to be more of a leader of this kind of group, a stronger one.
Sure.
And ask him some questions about, like, what anybody might know, if any of them have been beneath the surface and, to the next level below. Any information they have could help us in our mission.
Okay. So you actually, it was this guy. So you start talking to this prisoner.
And I give him 2 silver pieces.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead, mark that off. You give him the 2 silver pieces. He kind of looks at it.
Honestly, I would take more rations if you haven't put things.
And just kind of like, doesn't really know where to put it. Doesn't really have any pockets of any kind. Just these kind of raggedy clothes, but just kind of clutches it. Looks down at you. So you ask specifically about the lower levels.
Okay. You want me to just role play it? And
sure. What do you ask?
So, hey, yo, this is Captain Capone here. What's your name?
My name's Gog.
Gog. It's a great, strong name.
Thanks.
So, we have a ship out behind this island that's quite about a mile away. We're going to get you out of here, but first we need to figure out what they're doing here. And also, we need to get some information because we have the Lord's Alliance, and I wave my hands dramatically. The Lord's Alliance is planning to destroy this place, but we're doing a reconnaissance and rescue mission. Do you know if any of these others that have been down below, or what? Do you have any idea what these creatures, these Sahuag, are doing? And I spit the name as I say Sahuagin.
Let me find something.
I haven't been able to keep track of much. They keep us pretty focused on our work and brutalize us if we don't keep to the task. We were below at one point. I honestly couldn't tell you much about what was down there.
Would you seems draw a map for me if I gave you some chalk and some parchment? Just a basic map of what you saw.
No. I'm sorry. All I know is a little bit of time ago, there used to be more of us.
Mm-hmm.
We had finished building out the lower level. And a few of the slaves they acted out a bit more. They retaliated. They tried not to, they tried to escape a few times. They were seen as being insubordinate, and when we finished the lower level, they took us into some sort of room, maybe some kind of religious chamber of some sort. Well, they lined us all up, and they took those of us that were more resistant and pulled us all in front of the rest of us. And one of them, the Sahuagin, they spoke common, very rough form of common, but they pointed at us all and said, "This is what happens if you don't do what we tell you." And we watched as they slaughtered each of them one by one. They pulled their innards out from their bellies while they were tied up.
Savages.
I would be careful to use that word, friend. Many people refer to my kind as savage.
I don't think so. These things, they have no morals at all. Not even for their own. I've seen them eat their own.
Anyways, I can't remember how to get back there. I don't remember anything about the lower levels. But after
Very
we
well.
completed it, they brought us up here and kept driving us to work. And then there was a massive earthquake. And when we came back in this room, all of that water was filling the stairwell. I think there's... He's probably dead, but... There was a group that joined us late into our time. They were part of the individuals that were slaughtered. But one of them, one of the weaker ones, he didn't really put up much of a fight when all of his companions were trying to push back. He was spared. But last I saw him, he was unmoving in our quarters. Our quarters are on this floor. I do know where that is. But as I said, I don't think he's alive. He was just lying there limp and they left him. Didn't even bother to use his body for food. That's all I know.
Very well. I appreciate your candor. You will have a place on my ship if you wish after we get out of here.
I just want to get out. I can't even think of doing something like that right now.
Do not wear yourself out too tired. Make sure you're doing shifts here. I'll let you be in charge of the rest of them. It seems that you take on that role quite well. Well,
I guess so. All right.
I believe in you.
Anything else?
That's it. I just wanted to see if you have any information that could help you get free.
We'll keep doing this to hide your movements. But I don't know how much longer we can keep up this charade. We'll do our best. They'll likely send someone to check in on us at some point, probably in the morning.
Are there shifts?
Although I don't even know if it's morning, to be honest.
Do you know if they have shifts? Or is it just...
They do. I have no sense of how long, though. Time has become completely...
Very well. You should rest. Remember, take turns. You don't all have to do this at once. We just need some noise to keep the facade.
Of course.
The mirage that you are still working and everything is okay.
Of course, yeah.
And he turns and starts slamming away at the walls once more. All right.
I'm going to go with Bork and guard that hallway as well.
Yeah.
To rest in turn.
All right, so Shifty, you post up at the top of the stairs. If there's nothing else that y'all want to accomplish during the short rest.
So Volric's going to do one thing.
Okay, sounds like Volric and Aspen. So Volric, what would you like to do?
Once everyone is just about ready, starting to stand up, gather their gear, get ready to go into the water, I'm going to be using my Bardic ability, which anybody who rolled a hit die can add a d6. And he gives a motivational kind of speech. Are we chum to be devoured by these abominations? No, warriors we are, ready to smash these devils with great anticipation. Countless creatures we have slain, these shark men are no different. Toothy maw and scale limb shall be crushed and hewed. We bring death, we bring deliverance. And so anybody who needed extra hit die gets a d6.
A d6, okay. So you just get one extra d6 for your hit die. Which actually does remind me, I guess Oceanus would have rolled hit die. Oh god, I don't want to keep track of that right now. It's a lot to do. let's see, you're all 6th level though.
This is temporary hit points.
No, I don't think so.
No, this is short rest. This is hit die. You've done short rest hit die
Oh,
recovery, right?
okay. So this is in addition to any healing that you got from the short rest.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if you're
okay.
using
I
hit die, you get
misunderstood.
extra.
I thought it was temporary hit points. Never mind.
Yeah, and just DM, I didn't roll 2 dice. I only rolled 1.
Okay.
In the chat.
I trust you. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're
Okay.
good. You're good.
And if everyone isn't clear, you can keep rolling up to your level in hit dice. You have that many that you can expend before a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm guessing everyone's gonna be up to full at this point.
Cool. All right, so you all do hit dice. Aspen, you wanted to do something during the short rest.
I wanted to get Shifty and Ren together.
Okay. Yeah, you pull the two of them together probably towards the end of the rest. Rin is lying there on Bert, using Bert as a pillow.
I just look at them
Mhm.
for a second. You guys are about to do something incredibly dangerous. I want you to know that if push comes to shove, Lorik and I will make a way for you to get out or to contact us so that you can get back up here safely. If we have to go, we will go. If you don't feel safe doing anything, don't do it. I look at Shifty. No heroics. I want both of you to come back to us in one piece. Okay?
You know, my name's not Shifty for nothing.
I just shake my head at Shifty.
And you're not
All
alive
right.
for nothing.
She gets it. All right. I mean, you're the captain, so we kind of need you to get home. Okay.
Rin, I'll be messaging you all the way. At the same time, I'll be tossing back information to those with us. I look around to the rest of the group so they know that, given that we're at a casual pace, I will keep updating them as to what's going on as Rin gives her report.
Okay.
I turn to Aspen. Aspen, I assume you've got Shifty.
Of course. And I look to Shifty again. You might see things down there that you won't like, but that's not what we came here for, Shifty. We have a mission and we need to stick to it. We cannot save everyone.
I know.
We can only try.
My duty as a captain of a ship is making sure everybody gets back that can, keeping all of you safe and fed and paid. I'm not about to go risk everything to save some damsel in distress or whatever. I've seen some shit. I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just hold my pinky out to do a pinky swear.
Awesome.
So I don't want to speak for Rin, but Rin, I believe you're going to cast Pass Without Trace now for everybody, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that when we got the chance.
Yeah, so the rest comes to a close, and Rin, you pull everyone together, gathering everybody up, and focus in and cast the spell. So you're going to cast Pass Without a Trace. Okay.
Yes.
Before she does, Chinyar's going to walk up to Aspen.
Okay.
She's going to say, I know you used a lot of spells. Do you have anything left? Were you able to recover?
Yes, I was.
Very good. I was as well.
Were you able to recover? I know you were completely.
I did not use as many as you, but I was able to recover for my capabilities. So I am good at a certain point now, but I still have spells that I used that I cannot get back until we rest longer.
Understood. Hopefully we can find what we need to and get out of here.
Cool. Okay, so as you all gather in, Rin, you cast the spell, Volric.
Oh, I'll finish that spell because
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up to that spell
Sure.
casting.
So the spell is cast, and it's interesting because all of you standing here around Rin, the sound of the pickaxes clanging against the stone, it almost feels like in the immediate vicinity around you as Rin focuses and releases the spell, everything, the sound kind of dampens around you. You feel the sound of your armor that's kind of pulling against your body dampen. The shadows around you seem to darken a little bit as Rin focuses and the spell is released. Volric, what did you want to do after the spell is cast?
Oceanus, you up to this?
Yes, of course.
All right. As fast as you can on your way back. Be careful.
I will. And Oceanus is going to leave you all. I'm going to do a quick little roll here, a little secret roll, and see what happens with Oceanus as you all go and do your thing. So the audience will see this roll, but everybody
Nothing
else
ever
will not.
bad happens with rolls we
the
can't
girl?
see.
Yeah.
So for the audience here, I'll go to the map view so y'all can see what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna roll for Oceanus. If I do it on his stat block, I think sometimes it like puts things. So that's his bonus that he gets to stealth. If you can see that on the map view, I don't know if you can. So let's see what happens. Okay. I don't know. Did everybody else see that on your side?
I can see it, but I'm pretending I'm not. Are we?
You can look. If you saw it, you saw it. That's fine. I was trying to keep it secret, but maybe it showed up for everybody.
Yeah, it did.
It did? Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, there you
We
go.
just have a certain kind of feeling in our bones about how our friend.
You feel like he's doing really well.
That's how deep our friendship is. We couldn't know.
Wow, he rolled super well. Okay, so Oceanus leaves the room and suddenly he's gone. Nobody knows where he is. Okay. You all gather up here. So you're going to head down below, is that right? I feel like there was one other thing that you
A few
all
people
wanted
have
do.
a few people have to drink potions, so whoever needs to drink it should always say so.
Okay.
Or alter
Yes, I
spell.
will be drinking mine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then,
Let me know. So who's drinking a water breathing potion? The three of you. Okay, and I'm just gonna start a timer here for myself. And that was for Rin, Chenyar, and Aspen. Okay. And everybody else has an ability to breathe underwater. I trust you, so cool. Okay.
Aize would.
Oh, Aize, yeah. Are you? What are you doing?
I'll open archive and I'll pull up alter self.
Okay.
And I'll gesture with the wand and where are you? Badili Ubinasi. And I will transform into a fishman.
Okay, awesome. Into your Swamp Thing form. Amazing. And Alter Self, does that also last an hour?
That spell duration is, hang on, let me double check.
Okay.
It is concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay, so we got a bunch of timers set here. We got Pass Without Trace for an hour. We got Water Breathing for an hour, and we got Alter Self for an hour. Go for it.
I'm going to keep, the moment we enter the water, I'm going to try to keep a timer in my head so that I know when 30 minutes goes by.
Okay, understood. So, if you all don't mind setting up a marching order for me just in this little room, and then I can transfer you all over to the other map as you gather up to get ready to head below.
Yeah, I'll be with Shifty, and Bert will just be with Volric or whoever the nearest.
Okay, so Shifty and Rin side by side. Volric, it looks like Volric and Aspen behind them. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you have Bert with you, Rin.
But at a distance, we can use message cantrip up to like 100 and something feet, as long as we know basically where they are.
Okay, sounds good.
I will say before we go down into the water, since I can't speak in the water, I will say, by the way, what I did see was there's 3 ways, one going this way and 2 doorways on the right and left.
Okay.
Which way do you plan to go?
Well, usually I say right is the right way. However, probably straight ahead is what we went.
I find, sorry,
Go ahead, Aize.
So,
I would just recommend stick your hand against the right side wall and keep going.
Okay. So.
Dan,
Mhm.
Dan, I'm going to take the extra water breathing potion that I have that I
Okay.
was going to give to Shifty, and I am going to make sure it's very secure on my person where I can get to it immediately if I need to.
Sounds good. All right. So, something to keep in mind as you all gather up at the top of the stairs and you see this inky dark water before you and you start to descend into it, the cold rising up onto your chest, and then below the waves you hear that muffled sound as the water kind of fills your ears. You do hear, those of you with sensitive hearing, probably Rin and Chenyar, that ever so faint kind of like crackling sound, and as you start to descend down the stairs you can see there are little crustaceans and little fish that kind of dart about that seem to be nibbling on pieces of algae that are connected to the walls, so you just kind of hear this incessant sort of like as you go deeper and deeper down the stairs into the lightless depths below. So for all of you to keep in mind, since you are going into water, those of you without swim speeds, you are going to be moving at half speed. Those of you without swim speeds, you are going to be making melee attacks at disadvantage unless you have the weapons that I gave you a while back. I think short swords and stuff. And for you, Rin, specifically to note, if you shoot your bow underwater, it is at disadvantage, unfortunately. Anything else that comes up, we will just address it as we go. That should be everything covered. Yeah, Chenyar.
Is a crossbow also?
No, crossbow's fine.
Okay, so
But-
she'll have out her crossbow.
Awesome. The one thing to note with all ranged attacks is that it only goes out to the first increment range. Anything beyond that, it automatically misses. Basically, it doesn't have the momentum to actually keep going. So, okay, so you end up down here at the bottom of the stairs. You see the tiled mosaics around you, the little bits of algae clinging to the walls. Bert starts to swim in his frog form up in front of you, and you have Pass Without Trace on as you go into the depths. What are you doing first?
So I want to mention 3 things real quick. One is, Josh, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to do hand signals and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Messaging, a lot of that stuff, like, we're going to be actively doing that. There's at least 2 of us, plus Aize has some ability as well. Unless, of course, Nathan says, oh, you guys can't or whatever, right? So, Nathan, you just let us know. Secondly, I think we want to be about maybe 60 feet back, you guys, the main group. Does that sound about right to you guys? Yes?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay, 60 feet.
that
And then
works.
also, Bert should be with
Yeah.
us, not with
Okay.
Rin and them. He can't start as well.
So we'll be
Yeah.
moving slower. Keep
Okay.
in mind.
yeah, and like, sorry for like a million things to remember. From what if I read the correct thing, Bert should be taking up 10 feet. So just
10 feet?
Just
Wait,
for
he's a
large-
size...
I don't. That's where
Large?
I'm getting really confused. It might be 5 feet, but I'm
I
not.
think he's a size medium creature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
giant frog is medium size.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
hard. Yeah, because I'm getting inconsistent things.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how big is the frog? Okay.
Medium-sized creature. So he's like the size of probably like a Great Dane. Like he's a very, very big... I mean, it's a huge frog. Yeah. So yeah, actually one other thing to note, that since we're going underwater, you can talk underwater, and also please don't feel obligated to do the blah, blah, blah thing. Don't do that. Just talk. Please just talk. Okay. All right. So as you all end up down here, actually I do have a question for you, Chenyar, because I just remembered I was looking at the dynamic lighting. You have your Sunblade. Are you keeping the light on the way it is now?
No, because I think that will give us away.
Okay.
So she's going to put her sunblade away, and again, it disappears. The blade disappears. It is just the hilt that shows.
All right. So as you put it away, you all truly are in darkness and only have your dark vision to see. So everything that you are seeing is in shades of gray and black and white.
Did anyone need the blade out? I should have asked that first.
I believe Aize is able to see through the book, so Aize's good. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. So, kind of like we did last time, I think the way to manage this is those of you that are scouting, are you splitting up or are you going together in one direction?
Together.
Yep.
Then let's, kind of like last time, I'm going to move your tokens for you if that's okay, just to kind of keep this efficient. And we'll focus on you first, and then kind of have to jump back and forth between the group, because I know the group is trying to stay behind at a distance. So
I think we're doing like a buddy system, just so you know, like a Rogue Six kind of commando team. Like one goes forward to cover the other one, and then we're like go forward, coast clear, meet up, go forward, just slowly, methodically, not just running forward, both of us, where we both have to do check.
Swimming forward, but yes, as you swim through this underwater fortress. So let's start with the two of you. So which hallway are you gonna go? You have the one to the north, one to the east, and one to the west. And we're about to take our break here, but I just want to do this first initial.
There are doors in the hallways, or those on the right and left?
Those are archways.
They're archways. Okay. Oh, then I think we're gonna go right. I think that's what's our choice.
To the right. Okay. I would like both of you to make stealth checks for me as you start going down the right hall, swimming down that direction, and the rest of you following behind.
A good thing to ask here, too, before I roll. So, Boots of Elvenkind, how does that relate for swimming?
He's kicking legs.
Just, you get advantage.
All right.
It's okay.
Thank you for your mercy.
Yeah.
I had a nat 20 plus 10.
Excellent. Okay. And the rest of you start to swim off to the right, just keeping within line of sight of them. You see them start swimming down this hall, and immediately they have to start heading south. Both of you, so Rin, is that with the plus 10, the 12, or that's 12 plus 10?
Yeah, that's with the plus 10.
The 12 is with the plus 10.
You need to add on top. Yeah, I didn't roll with advantage either. So
I was like,
if we just do it manually.
I was like, wow. Okay, yeah. So if you want to go ahead and roll with advantage, because you might get a higher roll. And let's just see what you get before I continue narrating, because that will change things.
I do notice I rolled stealth, sleight of hand, but that's the same bonus as stealth.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So you did get a natural 20 on that roll, but because you initially rolled the 12. We're going to go with that 16 just to stay fair. So you get that 16 plus 10, so 26, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the two of you silently start coasting down this hall while the rest of your companions are a ways behind, just trying to keep an eye on your companions up ahead to the south. As you start swimming, you come around a bend, and you see that there's a T intersection with a room to the north with a curved archway and a continuation of a hallway to the south. What would you both like to do?
Well, we could, even though we probably don't want to.
Yeah. So do you go north or south?
Which way does that pointing mean?
Yeah, I would just talk.
He's gonna go forward and go like this, like the table, to see the table.
Okay. So we're going to the room.
So you start swimming into the room. Shifty, as you swim forward and poke your head into the room, what you see before you is... so you see this room has these dark green tiles that cover the floor and room. Very similar to some of the quarters you saw up above. In the middle of the room, there is a table that has, you know what? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm going to remove that from the description. There's all these descriptions of, like, chairs and benches and stuff, and I'm like, that makes no sense. You're underwater. Why would you... Sorry. So I'll get off my soapbox.
Stone slab, right?
Huh?
Stone slab.
Stone slab, yeah, but you do see a table. There is a big stone slab table in the middle of the room. And there appears to also be a coffer off to one side. The lid is closed. There is a big mass of seaweed in one corner of the room that rises up into this almost like bed of kelp that's just gently undulating. You do see a couple of tiny fish dart out of it as you kind of peek into the room. And the walls are again decorated in some dark, like tiled mosaics that accent well against these lighter tiles. What would you like to do? This is what you see. This appears to be some sort of chamber.
I tell her to come forward,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to say,
Just, I would just speak.
You look in here, and then I look at the kelp and just say, I go like this and say, don't touch.
Okay.
There's the kelp.
Can I move my token?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. When we
Alright.
do these little rooms, you can go ahead.
Okay, just making sure.
And for the other group, by the way, I'm just assuming that you're periodically checking in. And instead of role-playing that, because it'll get very tedious, we'll just assume. Okay, so you swim over to the closed coffer. So you wanna take a look at it, Rin?
Was that the thing that said don't touch, or was that for the kelp?
No, the coffer is this
Alright.
little stone chest here.
I get my mage hand out.
Okay.
And I make sure I go like, with my mage hand,
Uh-huh.
and I say, maybe step back because I'm excited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
could be a trap, and I would
Right.
like to look for traps if I can.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Are you able to do investigation checks with your mage hand as an arcane trickster? I know you can unlock things.
No, I can unlock things. I cannot do it. I can't see through my hand.
Then go ahead. So you're trying to unlock it then. Okay.
I would like to, look at it, see if I see any traps, and feel for it.
Understood. Go ahead and make your investigation roll.
Is it going to be investigation or sleight of hand?
If you're looking for traps, it's investigation.
Okay. An 11.
You don't see any traps on this chest. You do notice it is locked. It has some sort of heavy metal locking mechanism that's set on it, but there are no traps.
I'm going to get back, use my hand, and pick lock.
Okay, go for it. Make your Thieves' Tools check, and we'll see what you find.
That would be sleight of hand. No, Thieves' Tools, alright. Dexterity. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Amazing. So
On the road tonight.
without issue, and the lid opens up. Inside, you see there's a collection of things. Swimming up to it, you see what appear to be these, like, leather harnesses that have these, what look to be gold buckles. And there's a couple of leather bags that are tucked into one corner of this chest, and a small silvered hand mirror that's kind of resting off to one side. That's all you see within. What do you do?
I look to Rin.
I don't need a hand mirror.
Okay.
And just assume if I heard all that description correctly.
Yeah.
Looks more like appearance items, not really things helpful to us.
Yeah, there's the leather harnesses, 2 leather bags with something in them, and the small hand mirror.
Did we open the bag yet?
No, you can.
Okay.
Okay. So opening the bag, you open these small bags, and within, you can see they are full-sized, rather large cut gems. With the darkness, it's hard to kind of make out exactly what type of gems they are, but they are. Each bag contains a perfectly cut gem. 2 of them. That's what you find. What would you like to do with any of the stuff within? Are you going to take any of it? Are you going to do anything
I'm
else?
just gonna take the bag with me and add to it.
Okay,
Unless
so
Shifty wants in his bag.
so for the sake of
Brevity.
simplicity, you have 2 cut rubies. They're each worth 100 gold pieces. So Rin, you can, if you're taking those, you can go ahead and add those to your inventory. All right. So
Can I take the other bag?
Rin,
there's two bigs, right?
Just like she's like not gonna fight it. She's just like whatever we need to do to move on.
Okay, Rin, you pass it off. So Shifty, you have one bag. So one cut ruby, 100 gold pieces, and Rin, one cut ruby, 100 gold pieces. Okay.
I posted it in the general chat on our Discord.
Perfect.
I'll just keep a running total of whatever people pick up there.
So as you finish investigating this room, again, just so we can move through this with relative ease, there's nothing else of note in this room. And as you start to swim out, continuing out into the hallway, because we're at 5:30 here, we're going to take our break. You start to swim out, and both, well, actually, let's say that Rin, because your passive score is 15, Shifty's is only, yeah, Shifty's 13. So Rin, you pick up from the south. You start to hear, coming through the murky water ahead, the sounds of kind of low clicks and tones of that Sahuagin language coming through the water. And it sounds like it's coming from the south. And that is where we're going to take a quick break, and we will resume this in a little bit here. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. And before I shoot us over to the break screen, Eric or anybody else, does anybody have anything they want to plug, anything they want to talk about? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I guess I'll just do my quick plug here. If you like this, I do another show tomorrow night on Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're called Story Reckless. If you like this, head on over and take a look, and we would love to see you there. But we'll see you all back here in about 5 to 10 minutes, and yeah, see you soon. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. We're going to jump right back into this as Shifty and Rin are scouting ahead of the party in the Sahuagin Fortress. Rin just started to hear up ahead the guttural clicking language of the Sahuagin as there appear to be a number of Sahuagin that are communicating with each other up ahead. What do the two of you do?
I can't. This is just a map thing. I can't see based off the angle. Can I just go? Oh, never mind. Nothing's adjusted. Thanks.
Yeah. You don't see anything. You just hear the sounds coming from around the corner. You can see the hallway goes south a bit and then continues diverting to the west.
But,
Okay.
directly going back behind the table.
Oh, to go behind the table. So, just to be clear, it doesn't sound like they're approaching. You just hear
it
like
doesn't,
there
okay.
are Sahuagin up ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Following our one person going ahead and another person catching up and swapping, I'm gonna take my turn to go forward to just before the corner.
Okay. So you get to just before the corner, and as you swim up to it and kind of grab onto the wall and pull yourself just barely to peek around, you just see more hallway extending down, and the sound starts to become a bit louder. At the end of the hall, you can see it curves to the north. What would you like to do?
Just motion for Shifty to come forward and swap for the next turn. Even though I would be at disadvantage, she has her bow out.
Okay.
I message Ren because she's updating me. I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
I say, you should send Shifty up alone. He can't swim back as fast if he gets spotted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is Shifty, you're gonna swim up ahead?
I am, but before I do that, I see her bow and I'm just like, and I hand her my crossbow and 19 bolts.
Okay.
Does that not? Is that better underwater then?
No
It
disadvantage.
shoots just fine.
Ah.
You cannot use sharpshooter though.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
use
that's the
sharpshooter.
one thing. But she says, oh, I see why people have this.
Okay. So Shifty, you're gonna swim to the end of the hall. I would like you to make a stealth check for this, please.
Actually, never mind. I thought I had a crossbow. Never mind. I guess I have a short bow. Never mind about that.
Okay. But
That's
go
weird.
ahead
I
and
don't see it. I don't have arrows for some reason. All right. Anyways, I go ahead. Yes.
yeah, make that stealth check for me.
One more stealth check.
Yes, please.
Here we go. 27.
27. All right, Shifty, you slowly start to swim down the hall. With each stroke, you can hear the sounds of many Sahuagin speaking. And as you approach the corner and slowly, I'm going to move you into a spot where you will technically be visible, but this is just for the sake of you being able to see the room. You pull yourself around the corner, looking into the room very carefully, very quietly. And inside, you see a massive chamber filled with seaweed and filled with Sahuagin, who are all gently floating, wrapped up in seaweed. You can see some of them actually appear to be, their eyes completely shut. They are closed as they're wrapped up in the seaweed, sleeping. There are others that are communicating with each other, grabbing big chunks of raw flesh of some kind and kind of tearing into it in the water, and you see the kind of red mist sort of rising up like smoke as they're eating. This looks to be some sort of large living chamber, as all these Sahuagin are communicating with each other. Just from this corner, you see at least over a dozen, maybe more. And directly in front of you, there is one larger Sahuagin that seems to be kind of lording over them all, looking at the crowd as they're all just kind of milling about and communicating, but not actively doing anything at the moment. That's what you see.
I hold my breath and poison the water. No. I'm gonna make like Homer with the hedge and just.
Yep. Okay. You drift back.
Away very quietly, very slowly.
Drift back to
And
Rin.
As he's going back, I say, message Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get a head count?
So, like, he's doing things with his hand.
Just
He could
go ahead and
probably
talk,
tell-
Shifty, please.
I'm like, you could also, like, I'm just gonna message to Volric that Shifty's gonna message Aspen now. And then I kind of give a look like, say things.
Okay.
Sign me.
Okay. The answer is yes.
How many? How many? Vorik wants to know how many.
Shifty, you get the
Shifty,
message.
you had to
You were
answer.
able to
This
speak
is
back.
in your head.
You were able to speak back. Sorry.
Did Chinyar hear any of this
20.
stuff? I mean, like, as you're talking, like, to Volric?
So, Chenyar, we are, when we're not actively engaging with Shifty and Ren, we are messaging the rest of you guys, giving you updates.
Okay.
So they're using the message spell, meaning it only transfers between the two creatures and nobody else hears it.
I asked her to go further back before we start communicating.
Okay.
All right, so Chinyar will say back to Volric when Volric lets her know this.
Yeah.
She'll say, we only have an hour. We need to be faster.
Yeah.
We need not to engage.
So
I don't think we're planning on fighting. We just need numbers for the report.
So Shifty, you tell Aspen 20.
I tell her, yeah, I say at least 20.
Okay. So Aspen gets that back. It is
Yeah.
communicated back to the
Sneaking
group.
living quarters. We're coming back.
Okay.
Can't hear you, or at least on my end.
Oh, sorry. You start to swim back the way you came, and around the corner you see your group there waiting, as you all kind of regroup and get this information that there were at least 20 Sahuagin in the room ahead. So as you all regroup here, what would you like to do next?
Quick question: was that harness? Did it look like it was like for a dog or a horse or something?
It was quite large. It was definitely for something bigger than a dog, or maybe even a horse. Like maybe a horse, but yeah.
Or maybe a shark.
Probably.
How much time has gone by, Nathan?
10 minutes.
Okay. I say back up and over.
Okay.
Let's do some recon.
All right.
It's time to go to the next one. There's too many there.
Okay. So you swim. You all swim back out. I'm assuming into the chamber where you came from. Entering into the chamber, which direction would you like to go next? North or west?
I think we should go straight.
I was thinking that too.
Let's go.
Oh,
All right.
Shifty.
So, Shifty and Rin, you start swimming to the north with your companions behind you. Coming up to this T intersection, you can see that you can either go left or right. Would you like to go left or right?
I say I'll go this way and you go that way.
Okay.
Just Rin kind of like if we're separating, kind of looks back at the group like.
Yeah.
Right,
I message you no.
Okay, so when after you do the motion, we go separate. It's like okay, and then I just follow. Still.
Just to the end of the hall.
Mhm. We could.
Okay. So it sounds like you want to just separate for a moment to the end of the hall, peek around the corners. Okay.
I'll just stop at the corner.
Okay.
And
That's
as far as I'm going.
That's easy enough. You both swim quickly to the end of each hallway and take a look, and you can see that these hallways are kind of mirrors of each other, and they kind of zigzag and continue going into some other area.
I swim over to her.
Okay.
To continue on that direction because that's right's always right.
Okay. So the two of you start heading to the right. Swimming through these halls, you can continue to hear the strange muffled sounds of this underground fortress as you go deeper within. You hear deep, low tones kind of coming through the walls, but nothing close by. Everything is hard to pinpoint exactly what it is. You are in a very alien environment as you start swimming through these hallways. And I would assume for probably all of you, it's a really weird sensation to be pulling in the thicker atmosphere of the water as you breathe with each breath. thankfully you have magic that's assisting you. As you get to the end of that hallway, you can see once more, you find yourselves in a big long hallway with multiple access points. There's you can either go left, you can continue going north, there's a hallway that continues to the north, or if you go to the east, it looks to be that there are two, there's another T intersection with more hallways.
I'll check the corner here.
Corner.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, you swim up to the corner and peek around. Looking down, you can see a long hallway extending, and this one does seem to have doors that branch off of the hallway.
Then I go one door in another hallway, right again. I don't want to open doors here.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't like this news.
Okay. So you're going to continue going north then.
Take the right.
Sorry, Shifty, are you
Or-
going back to in that direction?
I think we're going down that hallway.
Okay, understood. I would like both of you to make stealth checks for me.
Healthy is healthy.
25, okay.
25, yeah. Ooh, 37.
Wow. Okay. So again, incredibly silently you swim through the water. All of you are waiting back at the intersection of this hallway, watching your companions disappear into the gloom. Shifty, Rin and Shifty, as you come to this intersection, you can hear to the south. You hear more Sahuagin getting closer. The sound of them speaking to each other. To the north, you don't hear anything at the moment.
All right, I'm taking the lead on this one to
Okay.
start investigating.
Okay. What would you? So you want to go look in the room, Rin? Okay. I'll let that stealth check ride because this was approaching this area. So Rin, you swim up, and again, I'm gonna push you around the corner just so you can see. But you swim up, and coming around the corner, you look in and see another chamber opening up. You can just barely see into the room. Ahead of you, you see at least 5 Sahuagin, but you can hear more within. They all look to be chattering with each other, and you see that you can hear one kind of prominent voice of a Sahuagin barking orders. And you see that many of these Sahuagin are currently grabbing like spears and hammers and kind of getting ready for something, adjusting their armor, adjusting their gear, and you can hear that barking order. And you see a bunch of them turn to start going towards the hallway that you and Shifty are at. What do you do?
Silently messaging Ulrich all that information.
Okay, they are turning and starting to swim in your direction.
Well, yeah, and then scooting back to join Shifty over there because we're gonna have company.
Okay, where are you going? So you swim to Shifty. Are you just gonna stop there, or are you gonna go somewhere else?
Going back around the corner, and if he's not swimming back, pulling
Okay.
him with me.
Okay, so you both duck around the corner. Both of you make stealth checks for me, and
I think
the
maybe
rest
down
of you down the hallway, you're just
Down-
close enough. I would also like all of you to make stealth checks.
And I'm going to message, once I get this information,
Yeah.
I'm going to message as rapidly as I can to the group. I said, they're coming our way, and we may have been found out.
Is
Okay.
there any way we can hide in one of the passages?
So yeah, all of you in that hallway, if you want, I will grant you your full movement if you want to move yourself to somewhere. Rin and Shifty as well. You can do your movement from that point, Shifty, that you were at, like from there. So you could do your movement as this is happening.
So Chinyar will say to Volric and point in the direction that Shifty had initially gone and then came back and said there were too many doors.
Okay.
Something like that. She'll point over in that direction, maybe there, and that's all she'll say.
Okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna let you guys move your tokens again. You have your, whatever movement you're granted with your, whether you have swim speed or not, and go ahead and place yourselves where you want to go. As Shifty and Rin, you pull yourselves around the corner and start to swim away. You can hear those voices getting louder. They don't sound like urgent, like they spotted you. They're just moving in your direction. Let me find...
Words have been telling them to hide.
Okay, so yeah, everybody go ahead and place yourselves, and then roll those stealth checks for me, please.
Okay, I'm moving it a little bit further so other people can get into where we're at.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Stealth check. And I'll roll stealth at disadvantage.
That's right. Yeah, because you're wearing armor that does that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're underwater. Am I clanky still?
Unfortunately, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Actually, it's leather, I think. So, okay. I'll roll twice.
Oh, wait. Does it say... Well, are you wearing armor that says it grants you disadvantage? Only if you're wearing armor that actually explicitly says it gives you disadvantage, do you roll disadvantage?
Yeah, I'm wearing scale mail.
Oh, then yeah. Okay.
Then I will roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Too bad it's not fish scale.
And I didn't add the 10 to it yet.
Okay. Yeah, let's go through all this. So
I have a 12.
12 total? Oof.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna go down the line here. So it looks like Rin, you got a 37. Ayize, you got a 19. Shifty, you got a billion. Aspen, you got a natural 21, or you got a 21 plus a 10. Okay, so 31, 12, and Chenyar, you got a 17 plus 10, so 27. Okay, thankfully it's a majority that succeeds. So you all scatter and pull into various corners, pushing yourself up against the walls as you're kind of undulating there in the water. It's a weird sensation. And looking around the corner, Shifty and Aspen, you're able to kind of see around the corner as you hold your breath. Yeah, I guess you hold your breath. You and you watch as 7 Sahuagin. 6 Sahuagin, all in formation, with one looks to be officer following behind as they start to swim with just absolute ease and grace down the hallway. Thankfully, it looks like they're all swimming to the north, and they do not take notice of you as this patrol starts swimming through the hallways, headed north.
We should follow them.
Oh, you're muted, Volric.
Ulrich, it's the water. It's affecting our hearing.
I will message.
I message.
I will
just
message.
Patrol then.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna message what Chenyar said to Volric.
Okay.
So that he can tell the other two.
Okay. Yeah, you all get the information distributed.
Junior, I think there might be a patrol. They may be just going out.
Yes, if we're behind them, they're going in a certain direction. They're not going to turn around. It'll probably be good to follow them because they're doing their patrol. That's my thought.
We may be following through the gate. But I don't mind trying it. It's information any direction we go.
Chenyar, your passive perception, is it 17?
I believe so, yes.
17? Okay. Just really quick, as you're having this conversation.
I have a 16 myself.
You have a 16, okay. Does anybody have higher than a 17? Or a 17 and up? No? Okay. Chenyar, you finish this conversation and get ready for everybody to start moving. You hear kind of... It's again with the water, it's hard to place exactly where, but it seems to be coming from behind you. You hear a very slow and methodical Sahuagin speech, very rhythmic, kind of, and it seems to have like a repetitious pattern to it.
So she will grab Aspen's arm
Mm-hmm.
as she starts to move.
Mhm.
She'll grab Aspen's arm very quick, and she will say to Aspen, "Wait, I think I hear chanting of some sort, some kind of singing or something. It's very rhythmic. I don't know their language, but it would sound like something, maybe chanting or something like that. It's rhythmic."
Okay, I will relay that to Volric.
Okay.
Sounds like a priest to me.
So, with that information, what do you all do? You can the patrol is already passed to the going north. You could continue to try to follow them, or do something else. What do you all want to do?
I have a question. In that
Yeah.
room that Rin scouted, was it like an armory or was it like a regular barracks or?
Yeah. So good question. Yeah, it looked to be. Hold on, let me find this here. So Rin, the brief moment that you saw in there, it looked very Spartan and like functional. It looked like a barracks.
Okay. Well, we don't have to check that room.
Sorry, when you're done.
Nope, go ahead.
Okay, Aiza is gonna move towards. Chenyard, you shared your information with everyone, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She shared it with Aspen, who messaged everybody.
I'll move to this door
Okay.
over here, and I will listen.
Yeah, go ahead and make your perception check for me.
Is that where the chanting's coming from? I'm confused.
No.
The chanting
No.
is coming from the north.
Right, it's from the north. Okay, so from the northern corridor, not where the patrol went.
No. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, the north of Chenyar, like where Chenyar's corridor is. Yeah. So
this direction.
So Aize, you place your ear against the door, knowing this, and take a listen. You don't hear anything on the other side of the door, and as you start to kind of knowing that this sound is happening, you start to hear it as well, and it seems to be coming further from the further away in the northern direction.
Okay, I'll swim up this way.
Okay, so Aize starts to swim, and then Chenyar, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, I was going to ask, do I feel like it's coming from further north in the corridor we're in?
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like it's coming further north from not the corridor we're
Right.
in?
Make a perception roll for me as Aize starts to swim down the hall.
Okay.
I will.
Aize.
And Aize, you want to do another perception roll with that door?
Yeah, but I'll sell a telepathic message back to, I guess, Volric, and I'll say, the door over here appears to be, the room appears to be empty. It might be a good idea to pick that lock or open it and check to see what's inside. I'm going to listen at this door up here and see if I'm gonna see if anybody is inside this room.
What happened to letting our sneaky people do their sneaky stuff? Seems kind of dangerous, wizard.
Did you just call me a wizard? Are you picking a fight?
Just trying to make sure I got your attention.
21.
Okay, so as all of you start to regroup in the hallway, as Aize kind of starts swimming off, Aize, you take a listen, and Chenyar, you as well. The chanting is coming from the very end of the hall. You can't. Aize is probably just able to see it with his dark vision with Archive, maybe. Yeah. So you're just able to see it through Archive's eyes, Aize, that there is a doorway at the end of the hall. And Chenyar, you can hear it just coming from the north down that hallway.
Sorry, didn't mean to talk over you, Chris.
I relay this to Volric and Aspen.
Mm-hmm.
So the chanting is come from the doorway at the end of the hall up north.
Okay.
But But yeah, I do recommend Shifty come down and pick these two doors here quickly, and I'll come back a bit.
Okay. So you swim back, rejoin the group. As everybody else joins up in the hallway, what would you like to do? Do you want to go down and check these rooms as a group? Yeah, or Shifty does it.
Like, seeing as we're all in this hallway right now,
Mhm.
I'll just join with Shifty and.
So
There's a door here.
Chinyar will say to Shifty as he approaches,
Mhm.
we don't want to make any noise, or else we might attract whatever is in the other room chanting.
Okay.
We want to give them not the advantage, and get the advantage ourselves to be able to sneak up on them.
I agree. It's dangerous to do this. To open any doors. Even the one above, I want to see what's there. I have a mirror. But I don't know if it's... I need to see the door if I can get any kind of mirrors through the cracks. If there are any cracks.
Are there cracks under the door, DM?
Yeah, there are small cracks under each of the doors. Yeah.
I will swim
Okay.
to the bottom where the door is,
Okay.
and I will try and peek in to see if I see any legs
Okay. Go
or anything moving.
Go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Keep
And
in mind that he's swimming.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Well, you see shadows.
amazing. So
26.
So for the sake of speed for this, because there are 3 doors, I'm gonna apply that to each door as you go down the hall and peek through. Looking into each room, you do see what looks to be some sort of like small living quarters. And you don't see any movement inside. You don't see any creatures within. Each of these rooms, all 3 of them, appear to be empty. When you get to the end of the hall, down here, the door directly to the north of you, the chanting is clearly coming from the other side of that door. But each of these rooms along this hallway, they're all empty.
Okay, so I will give the thumbs up to Shifty, if he wants to explore them. But then I'm going to peek underneath the door. I'm assuming there's a door here, right?
There is, yes.
Okay, is there a crack that I would be able to look under? Just with
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah, so go ahead and make one more perception roll for me.
Okay. I rolled a natural 1, and I have a perception of, and so that makes me an 8. But I did roll a natural 1, so that is an automatic fail.
Yes, you look under. You don't see anything. You just hear the sound of the chanting. A little bit of silt kind of picks up and into your eyes, and you kind of have to roll back away from it. You didn't see anything on the other side.
Okay.
Almost is the group. Well, the question is, do we scout out the empty rooms, get information? We're going to open the door, which is definitely going to lead to a fight.
I would suggest scouting the rooms first.
Yeah.
As far as we can ascertain, those rooms are empty.
Might be information inside. That's why we're here.
50, are you going to open any of these doors? Yes or
I
no?
already rolled, actually. I rolled a 24 for the first door and a 29 for the second.
So, you go up to the first door with your thieves' tools and start working at it, and then realize very quickly these are all unlocked. And going inside, you explore each of these rooms. So this is like, a big living fortress. There's a lot of rooms. So some of these rooms I'm going to kind of breeze through because there's some repeats of living quarters. But looking at each of these rooms, they all appear to be living quarters. There's stone. There's a stone desk in each room that has what look to be like chiseling implements and big flat shells. You can see some shells have been bound together with pieces of sinew, and there's writing of some kind you can't read, like chiseled onto the shells themselves. There are those seaweed beds that you noticed in the other living quarters that are set up in here. And let me see if there's anything. Shifty, go ahead and just make an investigation roll for me for each of these 3 rooms, and we'll see what you find. Sorry, just one investigation roll, just because I, again, don't want to.
10.
You got a 10. Okay. So going through each of the rooms, you see that each one does have a stone chest. It has a coffer. Opening up each chest, you find a lot of like valuable items and pieces of clothing and weapons. No documents of any sort. Now, my question to you is, are you going to take any of the valuable items out of the chests?
I would like to investigate, see if any of them looks trapped first.
None of them. It's, again, just to you roll the 10. This 10 is like applied. I just to keep it quick.
Then yeah, I'm going to take those shell writing things or whatever, and also any valuables that are in that.
Okay, so you start going through. Now keep in mind, this is taking time. So you start going into each of these rooms.
What kind of valuables? You said weapons, gold, and gems.
Some of them look to have gold. Some of them have, things that might be valuable. You don't know. Like one of them has a silver hand mirror, right? And it's like, that could be valuable. So it just depends. Like, how long do you want to actually take to start taking stuff out of these chests?
Yeah, Chinyar will look at you impatiently.
Yeah.
We only have so much water breathing. Let's go.
Yeah. DM, how much time has passed, by the way?
20 minutes.
I'd like to hand out give my bag of holding to maybe Aspen, and I go, can you collect these while I look ahead?
No, Shifty, we have a job to do.
I know, but you're just waiting here for us till we go ahead. Might as well be useful, yes?
I'm not just waiting here. I'm keeping an eye out so that we don't get ambushed.
We don't need these things. Let's go.
Yes, we might need it.
We're getting paid.
Just grab everything.
Just take it. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So
if he says grab everything, I give it to Volhurk, and then I want this back.
Okay. All right, so Shifty, you go swimming ahead as Volric and Aspen. You start collecting the stuff in the rooms, if I'm understanding. So I'll just go through this quick. Ayuze, if you want to, you seem to be taking track of inventory, so I'm just going to list this off for you. Aspen and Volric, pulling out of the chests, you get, you do find some gold. So you find, I'm just going to have to go down one at a time. The first room, you find 70 gold. Just in a bag. You pull out an ivory handled dagger, which is worth 20 gold. You know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to do this on stream. I'm going to give you this list at the end of the show, Ayuze.
Thank you.
And you will get everything. The only thing that is really interesting that you find, Aspen and Volric, let's just do a quick, I'm just going to do a quick roll. Okay, so Aspen, you are in the last room. And you see on one of the tables there is a small wooden statuette of a this massive shark kind of rising up, its mouth agape. There appear to be just multiple hands coming out of the mouth as if they're being pulled into the mouth and being devoured. And it's just a little statue resting on the stone table. But if you're taking everything, you throw that in to the bag of holding, and Ayuze, if you just want to put a little wooden statue, shark statue, is kind of the one, thing that stands out. While all that's happening, Shifty, you're gonna swim north towards that door, and you can hear that chanting still happening. What do you want to do?
If the mirror would fit under that, my mirror tool.
Mm-hmm.
On the wall, like a selfie stick on a rod or whatever.
Make a perception check.
He would like to try to do that.
Yeah, so you slide it under.
Would it be a thieves tool check?
No,
Like at disadvantage?
no, perception roll. You just have a tool with you that is you would. I'll tell you this: depending on what you get, you will end up seeing more than what Chenyar would see because you can actually get it angled.
I got nat 20.
Wow. Okay. So
Look at
Shifty,
Lana tonight. What's happening?
This is
Like,
good.
I like being underwater, y'all.
this is good. So Shifty, you extend the mirror underneath and start angling it, looking around into the room. The first thing you see is off to the right. You see what appear to be like a small chamber for probably like getting ready for something. Like it does look very ceremonial, very religious. You can see within this chamber there are multiple like vestments, like masks. There are golden what look to be golden bells and gongs that are resting on the wall, and you see some necklaces that are made of some sort of like coraled beads and gold, all hung up on the walls within the room here that's directly on the other side of the door. And as you angle the mirror off to the left, you can just barely make out there's an archway that leads into a bigger chamber, and within there's a faint light sort of glowing within that room, this kind of aqua green light that's gently pulsing, and you do see some movement. You can barely make out what looks to be like almost like a cloud of murky water sort of rising up, and what looks to be a large sack of some kind that's just kind of squirming and undulating. But that's about all you can see. Huh?
Can I put my guy on the edge of the doorway to see down the hallway, or just your description?
Sorry, one more time?
Can I put my guy with the vision on thing, can I put him in the hallway to be able to see?
I'm just gonna do the description for now because it is just the mirror, right? Like, yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna go back and I can I do an insight check or a religion check to think it's like I think it's a religious cult thingy with all the beads and everything?
Do you have religion as a proficiency?
Definitely I do not.
Then I don't think you have any idea. Yeah. I mean,
based on his description, can I determine?
Yeah, you can make a religion check.
I have history, actually.
History? Sure. Go ahead and make a history check.
19?
A 19. Yeah, so based on the description of the masks, maybe the ceremony, like, it's harder to decide. It's clearly religious, but what exactly it's used for, you're not sure. But based on the description of the masks, they were these silver masks that kind of extended out into big shark faces. I mean, you know that the Sahuagin worship the god Sekolah, which is the great shark being that the Sahuagin worship, and they believe, will devour all and, bring supremacy to the Sahuagin if, when Sekolah comes into the world, right? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Not much to add. I mean, it looks like there's, based on your description, I believe there's 2 priests in there. I'm curious about what's beyond the archway, though. I don't know. I'm curious enough to commit to a fight because we'd have to kill those priests quietly. What do you think, Volric?
Well, part of me is absolutely itching for a fight.
They're chanting for some reason.
If we can take out their priests, that could deal a blow to their organization too.
I think we're all forgetting one thing. We are underwater and they smell blood. If we go in there and slaughter their priests, that can alert them to us. That can bring them to us.
What's my knowledge based on that comment, Nathan? Like, how far do I think that the blood can carry so that they smell it or taste it? Based on like sharks and
yeah,
things, right?
yeah. And you've been at sea. Make a, I would say make either survival or history check.
How
Survival
about
or history.
athletics check?
Yeah, athletics definitely will determine.
Okay. Let's see. What were my choices? It was history and what?
History or survival.
All right.
Can I aid?
Yeah, how would you like to aid?
So having observed the Sagawagan that went into a frenzy, seeing how fast they kind of picked up on that blood,
Okay.
kind of gives me a cue on how fast blood travels through the water.
Okay.
So I will try to assist Volric in his discernment.
Okay, go for it.
So what am I
Alright.
getting with the bonus?
You get advantage. Or Chenyar, you could roll, and like you could both do single rolls, or you can give Volric advantage.
I would like to give Volric advantage.
Okay, go for it, Volric.
Here it comes. I am proficient.
15.
15.
Based on kind of the layout of these rooms and how everything, I'll give you this. There's a couple things. It is risky. Clearly, they seem to be very sensitive to blood. But after talking with Aize about their worship of Sekala and the description that Shifty gave, there was that kind of murky cloud in the room. You quickly determine that was likely some sort of blood that's used in whatever ritual they were performing. So that would help a lot. It would help mask any kind of blood that would end up in that room. If you were to kill Sahuagin in a room with a door and seal it, maybe it'll kind of contain it. But it is risky. They do seem to be very sensitive to blood.
I do have a solution. Well, not a solution, just a suggestion. If I kill them, there will be no blood.
What do you do? Freeze them?
Electrocute them, actually.
You have electricity?
I can.
Does
I
it?
was not intending to use. I don't think it's a good idea to throw a fireball down here.
Would it be a good idea to use electricity in the water when we're in the water too?
Well, yes, if you're far enough away. I mean, I
How
don't.
much? So can you get one or multiple people with electricity?
What I can do is I have the ability to channel my arcane energy and adjust the elemental type of the damage. So I can convert a fireball into a lightning ball.
Ooh.
Or I can convert a flame bolt into an electricity bolt.
I think that sounds very good.
I think these things are all worth the risk.
I think so too.
This will probably be the last thing we do before we leave.
Well,
Hopefully.
it's just to reiterate. Sorry, go ahead. Finish, brother.
But hopefully it's not the last thing we do.
Indeed, but we're supposed to find things that are interesting and things that are important. Sleeping chambers filled with, we found a barracks, we found some empty rooms, but that sounds interesting and important.
We were not supposed to come down here to fight. We were supposed to come down here to observe.
No, we weren't. We were supposed to come here to kill.
They said, specifically, they asked us not to fight. They said, let us fight. You need to just get the information.
Hang on for a second. I want to read our mission statement.
They didn't explicitly say not to fight. They just warned against getting into a fight because you may be overwhelmed. There was nothing against fighting, though.
We're here now. Here's my case. We have found some interesting information. 20 or so Sahuagin, where they sleep, the patrols, where they launch from, maybe some other goodies once we can dissect what's in the pouches. But if we kick that door in, or unlock it, or do whatever we do, we're likely to see a lot more. And if we can kill somebody important, that's going to help the cause. So I say we go for it.
Recon goals: identify battle maps, identify leadership, scout layout of fort. Okay, didn't say anything here about don't kill anybody. By the way, we already kind of broke that because we killed a ton of Sahuagin so far.
But if you recall, if they do find us, there were about 20 in that sleeping room, and there are our patrols. I think there's still one hallway we never looked into. It would not. I think it's
I don't disagree that we don't have any risk involved in this. I just feel that it's worth it.
We could do further recon, but I don't know how long this chanting is going to go on, and I really feel uncomfortable about it.
Nathan, what's the timer on the water breathing?
You are approaching the half hour mark.
Okay.
We are about 28 minutes into our water breathing, and we have an hour. Just so you know.
We're going to have to leave soon either way. I say we open that door. Either pick the lock or do it dramatically. I say we go in.
Not dramatic. Are you crazy?
Just if we're gonna do it, let's go.
We
We're
don't
wasting
have much
time.
time. Exactly.
All
Can I
right.
see if there's a lock on the door before he bashes it in?
So, Shifty, with your initial investigation of it, the door is not locked. So how would you all like to approach this room?
As
see
he wants to
what's-
come up and hit it, I'm just gonna put my hand on the handle and be like,
Stealthy.
unlatch it and just
Okay.
stand aside.
And then
In marching order.
Chenyar, you're saying,
Stealthy. Let's
Okay.
go stealthy. Surprise round.
okay.
We'll surprise them.
Okay. So, are y'all, who's going in first? Like, what's the plan
We
here?
let Aize go first. He does his magical changing of the elements. I can Eldritch Blast twice. I can hit both, and then the rest of you can fill in and take out whoever is still standing.
Okay. So
Anyone-
Aize, you're gonna go in first.
Everybody get close to the door.
Okay.
Just suicide.
Just understand that swimming speed means that you're slower. So y'all back there, you need to be up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke out. I'm gonna throw a lightning ball, and then I'm gonna take cover and expect everybody else to run in. Swim in. Sorry.
And
Alright.
Aize, you're gonna try to stealthily go into the room, or are you just gonna bust in?
I stink at stealth, so I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay.
I'll alter stealth into a Sahagin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I like to. Yeah.
Okay. So
And then I'm gonna open the. I'm gonna say, ready?
okay.
No,
Or I just hold up like this. And I
Remember
make
the
sure that
potions,
my hand
guys.
is close to Shifty.
Okay.
And,
I'm backing away.
So Aize, if my question for you is, you are trying to get a surprise round here. Entering into the room, are you trying to be quiet and therefore do stealth, or are you trying to use your deception of looking like a Sahuagin and just like swimming in like you are meant to be there?
I'm trying to be quiet and stealthy.
Okay, roll a
And,
stealth check then.
Like the Sahuagin part is just in case they spot me and they don't immediately try to kill me.
Understood. Go ahead and roll that stealth check for me as you push the door open quietly and enter the room.
And yes, thank you, Ren. 'Cause that's a 21.
Incredible. So go ahead, Aize, start, moving your token kind of one, tile at a time. I'll tell you when to stop. As you start to quietly swim into the room, you look off to the left and you see this room starting to open up before you. And it does appear to be some sort of temple. So if you can stop there, please, I will describe what you see. So, looking into this room, there's a lot happening in the room. So, you see there is an altar before you. And at the base of the altar, it is made of what look to be thousands of dark shark eyes peering off into the darkness around you. They even seem to be glinting from the light in the room. And there is light in this room. There is this faint pulsing sort of aqua green light, and as you look around and start to take in your surroundings, you can see that the light is coming off of all of these intricate runes and designs that are carved into the walls, and growing out of them is actually the same algae that Rin collected. This bioluminescent glowing algae that seems to be pulsing rhythmically with the chanting that is occurring in the room. And you see that there are 3 Sahuagin floating there, eyes closed, seeming to be in some kind of reverent state, chanting to this altar. Above the altar, you see engraved on the wall a massive, massive mural of what looks to be a singular shark mouth filled with thousands of teeth. And in the center of the mouth, like a swirling chaotic storm, you see that symbol that was on the back of the Hydra's neck. The spiral going down, down, down. And
that's really good information.
And on either side of the altar, there are these sacks that just seem to be squirming and moving as the priests are chanting. And it seems that one of them is actually holding on to something, some creature in their hands that is sort of limp in their hands, and you see that murky cloud rising off of it as blood is just trailing up like smoke into the ceiling above, which is a good 30 feet above you. And swimming up in the ceiling, in the cloud of blood, you see a massive shape pass overhead. It is clearly shark-like in shape. There are 2 massive pectoral fins, one large dorsal fin at the back, as it just gently pushes through the water with its muscular body. And as it turns, you realize that this shark is disfigured. There is a joint at the neck as its head splits in 2, and there are 2 heads protruding off of its body. You can see little kind of almost like thick veins and lines running through its body that are also kind of undulating and moving as it just swims around up in the cloud of blood. And it is adorned with many vestments of gold and pearls and bits of leather tied to it. And the creature in the Sahuagin's hand, I would like you to make a perception roll for me just to see like this thing is kind of small that the Sahuagin is holding.
Nope.
Yeah, so you can't tell, but there is something small, very fish-like in its hand. That's what you see, Aize. So they don't notice you. Not even the massive shark above notices you. What do you do?
Signal to Volric. Alright, change of plans. They got this God's huge, enormous, 2-headed shark monster floating above them. They're not alone. Your call, Volric. Oh, by the way, it looks extremely formidable. Oh, another piece of information. You remember that rune we found on the back of the Hydra, back in the lizard swamp?
Yeah.
Same rune is on this altar, so we know who polluted their Hydra anyway. It was these bastards.
That sounds like a hell of a fight.
Your call, Volric. Go or no?
I turn to the group. Give me some facial expressions, crew. Just give me some facial, like you guys all know we're thinking about going in. Rin?
I know she wouldn't have a watch, but she's just like, as if she were looking at like,
Okay. Shaynar? Are you just stoic?
Yeah, she nods her head like, ready.
Okay. Aspen? Looking at you.
I'm just shaking my head. This is a terrible idea. We have 30 minutes of air left. We don't have time to sit here and try to take on a beast god or whatever it is. We have the information that we were looking for. We need to go.
I agree. Our mission here is just to observe, not to start a fight. We kick the Sahuagin nest. All this is for nothing, because everything will change.
If we lose our air, if we lose what little time we have left, half of us are going to drown down here. We only have 1 water breathing potion left.
We can fight later, once we have backup.
My only reservation is with the time.
My concern is that whatever they're doing, and we don't know what it is they're doing, could lead to something larger. They're priestess. There's something going on.
Oh, I can tell you what they're doing. Their whole method is to put a actually no, there's no time for that. I'll give you archive later and you can read it. Like, we know what they did. They polluted their Hydra. And then looking to pollute something else.
All right, so I messaged the group. I say, if we were at full strength, I wouldn't hesitate. But I do see fear in some of your eyes. I like to go down fighting, but not with people who don't want to be fighting. I think we need to leave, Aize, but we have some damned useful information.
I'm glad there's some brains inside of that hard head of yours.
Hmm.
And for the record, I'm not scared. I would love to take that thing on. If I had my spells.
I don't think it's a good idea. We'd never get back to this Doria if we did this with our boats. They would swarm. There would be no way it would be suicide.
Aize is not staying to listen. He's going to continue sneaking down the corridor.
Okay.
I'm in Sahuagin form, so I'm just going to keep swimming down.
Okay.
I'll go down to the, if we're not going to take those guys on, I'll go down to the intersection.
Okay.
And I'll look to see if anyone's following me.
All right, so you swim to the end of the intersection. All of you having this discussion see Aize swim past and disappear into the dark as he goes out of the line of your dark vision. What are you all going to do? Are you going to follow Aize and not... It sounds like you're not going to engage with this, correct?
Yeah, Rin's just gonna quickly say before following, well, if we have limited time, let's find out as much as we can and just continue to follow behind you.
Okay.
I'll fire back a signal to Aspen, and I said, there's a door over here I don't think we looked at yet, and then I'll send it to Volric as well, because it's telepathy and I can get it for free.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm
maybe
gonna swim over to that door.
Okay, we'll make sure to quietly close the door that was open.
Okay, no problem.
We'll say to Volric, I have a bad feeling about this.
If only because Aize is just relying on his Sahuagin disguise.
Okay.
So I'll just wait
Okay.
for the rest of the group to come.
All right, so you wait there in the dark, having to use archive just to see in this hallway you're in, while the rest of you collect, regroup, and swim down to regroup with Aize. Getting down to the end of the hall, you can see Aize patiently waiting there before a doorway that is just to the to the west.
I wonder if it connects to the giant room with the shark. That's good. I'm mapping. I'm gonna listen at the door.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Oh man, stupid assistant. Somebody come over here and listen at the door.
Chinyar will come over to listen at the door.
Go for it, Chinyar.
Can I also see underneath the door? Is there a crack?
Yeah, I'll just say we'll assume that all the doors have a small enough crack that you're able to look under.
Would you like Shifty to come forward?
Chenyar, you swim down and poke your eye under the door and look through, and within you see the temple that Aize described. This set of large double doors appears to lead directly into that temple space. And then I would even say, actually, as you kind of swim back and look up at the doors themselves, you can see that these doors are a bit more ornate and have depictions of sharks on them.
Do I get a sense, and I don't know if you want like a history or something like that roll, do I get a sense that they're trying to summon something, or
this would be a religion check.
I don't have I mean, I can roll, but I don't have the.
Can I help her? I do have religion.
You could, yeah. Do you have history? Do you have history, Chenyar?
I do.
Okay,
I
so
do
why
have
don't
history.
Why don't you roll history, and Aspen, you can roll religion.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
compare notes.
When Volk was going through those books, some of which pertain to that symbol or something similar,
Yeah.
is there value? Is there value there for me to try and do a check? Or help somebody? Or
I think you've already you kind of got the information you got from those books, right? So
Yeah.
I think not. Chenyar, Chenyar got a 6, unfortunately. Aspen, you got a 22. As the two of you kind of discuss this here in the hall, about what this might be, you don't think that they necessarily are summoning something, because there's already a big thing in the room. And Aspen, what you kind of suspect is that what they were doing, based on Aize's description, and actually what Chenyar just saw, they're probably just doing some sort of ceremony, like directly towards whatever that creature was, like kind of an appeasement or just, revering it. So not necessarily summoning something.
Were we able to see, I know that, and this might be a little bit of metagaming, but you had asked Aize to something about what it was feeding, or some fish or something.
Right, you got a,
We was
15?
Yeah, and I don't know, whether perhaps Aspen saw it or I saw it.
Well, you were the one looking under the door. So far, the only people who have actually seen into the room are you, Chenyar, Shifty a little bit, and Aize. And with a 15, Chenyar, as you were looking under there, it's too far away to be able to make out what the creature was that it was holding. I will say that at this point, as you look under, they do seem to be letting go of it as it starts to float, like its dead corpse starts to kind of float upwards naturally, and you see that massive, you were just able to make out kind of a dark shadow of something quickly, and just that whatever that corpse was is just devoured in an instant. And you see one of the other priests go over to the one of the squirming sacks, peel it open and reach inside and start to pull another squirming thing out as they cinch it tight. And it looks like they're getting ready to probably kill whatever that thing is.
So this is some sort of sacrificial
Yes.
ritual.
Yes.
Yeah. Chinyar is very upset to see this, but sure, her face is still stoic.
I did look into the room, and I didn't. Do I remember enough where I could do an Arcana check? Or is it
what are you hoping to glean, I guess, from this check? Are you also trying to understand what this ritual might be?
Yes. Or history.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, sure. I'll let you make one history roll here, and we'll see. But I think this would have to be a really high roll.
25.
5. I think you just know what you gathered from last time.
Okay.
It is interesting that this symbol is appearing here once more. It is odd that the symbol is tied to, that the symbol has historically been tied to Umberlee with Captain Sergal, Volric's old first mate. I believe, Volric, you shared that information, right? Yeah. So that's a bit odd that Umberlee's symbol, well, it's not Umberlee's symbol, it's somebody's interpretation of Umberlee, right? Their version of Umberlee's symbol is showing up here when clearly everything you've been seeing is a dedication to Sekala. So that's the odd part.
I suspect that they're the same god, and it's kind of like the Sahagin interpretation of Umberlee is Sekala, but
perhaps, yeah,
that's a possibility.
And there was a clear, in that mural you saw up above, there was a clear integration of the shark maw, the mouth, integrated with the symbol. So there was like a variation of that symbol.
All right, I'll pass this back to the group. Nod not to Shenya, and then continue down the corridor.
Okay. So Aize, just to check in here. So Aize, are you now going to lead the reconnaissance as Shifty and Rin originally were doing that? Are you gonna swim up ahead?
Yeah, I'll go as a Sagan.
Okay. So everybody else is okay. You're gonna hang back like you were doing before. Okay. So Aize in Sahuagin form swims up ahead. You see a hallway extending to the north, and it looks to be another very similar hallway to the last one, where there's a set of doors off to the left this time, very much a mirror of the other side.
All right, telepathically link again, or pass on to Shifty.
Okay.
Doors north on the east side. I would listen at it, but I just think at that. I'll move up just a bit.
I'm going stealthily.
Okay.
But I suggest everybody come up here.
Okay. So everybody waits at the corner there. I would like... So a couple things. I would like... Shifty, you're also going to stealth down the hallway, is that right?
Yeah, come in, but I go stealthily. Yes, if I can.
So Shifty and Aize, make stealth checks for me as you go down the hallway. Those of you in the hallway as you're waiting there, can you make perception rolls for me?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, so you are now at the 30-minute mark. And this investigation of this hallway, depending on what happens here, could take another 10 minutes. We'll see what happens.
How long does it take for us to get from here to the stairs?
No time at all, really. If you were to swim straight there, you could get there in less than 5 minutes. You haven't actually gone terribly far, because you did that. You went south first, which it took you, down a ways. Then you backtracked, and then you went back north.
Okay.
It looks like with our perception rolls, the highest one was Chenyar. And with our stealth rolls, we got Shifty with a 28 plus 10. And Aize, is that 8? Is that with the plus 10?
Nope, it's 18.
Okay. The two of you, thankfully with Pass Without Trace, are able to very quietly swim northward. And again, for the sake of speed, if you are going to check each door, both of you can make just one roll, perception or investigation. And while you're doing that roll, the rest of you in the hallway, as they swim off north and start peeking into these doors and listening, Chenyar, you start to hear coming from down the hall, approaching, more Sahuagin speaking.
Which, down this way?
To the west, yes.
Okay. I will let Volric know. I will like quietly, very, very quietly, tell him that I hear them approaching. We need to get into the corridor here.
Okay. So what do you all do?
I message Aspen, start moving, and then start messaging everybody else that can get out of the way.
Okay.
Around the corner.
All right, so you swim around the corner. Everybody in the hallway there makes stealth checks as you duck into the corner. And Aize, it looks like you got a 12 with your investigation?
Yep.
Okay, and what about you, Shifty? Did you roll investigation or perception?
I guess I'll have to do perception if he did investigation, right?
No, you can do investigation.
I'll do perception as my higher one anyways.
Okay.
I didn't add the 10 to my roll to stealth.
Understood.
Got a 15?
15? Okay. All right. So as the two of you start going door to door and swimming down the hallway, by the time you get to the end of the hallway, you or about midway down, you suddenly see all of your companions come swimming in and pushing up against the wall once more. And let's see what we got here. Who got the lowest roll? Chenyar, but that's without the plus 10, so you still got an 18. Okay. All right. Awesome. You all got some with that. Man, that Pass Without Trace, saving your guys' butt. As you push into that hallway, let's see, who do we have at the end of the hall this time? We have Volric at the end of the hall. So Volric, as you are there kind of at the lead, pushed up against the wall and peek around, you see that same patrol of 7 Sahuagin with the leader at the back go swimming past, continuing south. Actually, no, yeah. So this is great. You're sitting there and you were looking off into the darkness, hearing that guttural language approaching, and then out of the gloom you see little glints of light off of eyes, and then see the faces of these Sahuagin come out of the gloom as they start swimming down the hall in your direction. Kind of mouths agape, the teeth glinting in the darkness, and you see them looking over their shoulders as they swim and kind of talking to each other. Thankfully, as you keep everyone quiet around you, you watch as they swim past and head down the hallway that you originally came from, and they start heading south towards the chamber with the big stairs that you all came in on.
I say we better head towards those stairs now.
Okay. So as you say that, Aize and Shifty, with your rolls, Aize with the 12. So the first door, you did hear movement on the other side. And as Shifty swims up next to you and looks under with the mirror, Shifty inside, you see that there is what looks to be another Sahuagin priest in robes. And swimming around them, there are 4 sharks that they are just kind of gently reaching up and feeding them chunks of meat as they kind of swim down gently and take the meat out of their hands. Going to the next door, you both peer in, kind of helping each other out, looking at Shifty's mirror. Inside of that chamber, you see another altar. This is a much smaller chamber than the big main temple, but this one appears to have another altar dedicated to Sekolah. It has a large sculpture of the big shark of Sekolah depicted. And there appear to be other bones adorning it. You recognize skulls of other humanoids. You see some lizard folk. You see some potentially human. It's hard to say. And when you get to the final end of the chamber, you both notice as you get to the end and look around the corner, there is no door, just an archway that leads into the main temple where you came from. But there is one doorway directly ahead. My question to both of you, and this is just before Volric is making this decision, my question for both of you is, do you want to risk swimming up to that final door and looking under? There is kind of an entryway that leads to the temple with no doorway that they potentially could spot you through.
I'd like to tell Aize to maybe hold back, and I could go forward. There's some movement around the corner here. Around the corner when I look?
I just say, then go.
Okay, Shifty, go ahead and make a stealth check for me. And as you start to swim forward, okay, so you get a 23. Okay, you gently swim forward without triggering any notice from the creatures on the other side and get up to the door. And it is a bit nerve-wracking because you're pressed up against the door and you hear that chanting just over your shoulder, and kind of looking over, you can see the priests sitting there going through their ritual, chanting. And getting up to that door, go ahead and make an investigation check for me, and we're going to cut back to the others as you pull out that mirror and try to look inside the chamber.
19.
A 19, okay. You quickly extend the mirror out and look within. Off directly to the left, you can see that it opens up into what appears to be a much larger living quarters, and it looks much more well adorned. There are beautiful mosaics filling this room. There is a large stone table in the center that is piled high with what look to be all sorts of ritualistic items, and that's about all you can see from this angle. So as you see that, we cut back to the others. Volric, you said we must follow them to that stairwell. You're muted. What are you doing?
I say we have to go now. If we don't, those prisoners are dead, and we're absolutely outed. Who's coming? And I grab Rin, and I kind of pull her to grab onto like the back of my cloak.
Okay.
And I'll kind of pull her. So whatever movement that's going to be, and of course I use my bonus actions for so my actions for dashing.
Okay.
Do you know that they're going up the stairs?
That's where they're
Where they
headed.
came from.
Well, they're just heading in that direction.
And whether it be that they're going there on purpose to find something, or it's just part of their patrol, either way, we got to go. So I'm already headed, and unless Ren wants to break my grasp, I'm pulling her on my back. I'm going as fast as I can.
Okay.
And I look at Aspen to join me.
Okay, so Rin, Volric grabs onto you and starts to swim away with the cloak of the manta ray. So you're going to be able to travel at 30 feet, Volric, right? Because you normally can do 60. So you start to feel yourself getting pulled through the water by Volric. Rin, do you hold on to Volric or do you let go?
Rin's continuing to hold on, and I
Okay.
don't know how much time she has to say anything before I'm being dashed away.
Okay.
But all of this is useless if they discover us now, and
Okay.
just.
All right, so you start getting pulled away. Aspen, Chenyar, are you going to follow?
Chinyar will look behind her to see where Aize and Shifty are.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
and-
Aize, you are at the end of the hall. That's where we
And
left
she
off
will-
as you guys were investigating the hallway.
That's fine.
was-
I'm just.
Sorry, go ahead, Chenyar.
Yeah, she will say to Aspen, "Can you contact them?"
Yes. I'm going to cast message, and I'm going to spend a sorcery point to 20.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you contact both
Three-way call.
Aize and Shifty?
And Shifty,
Okay.
where are you? We have to go.
Okay.
I actually thought that they'd already contacted us. That's why I started moving. Yeah. Shifty's looking ahead down here. We found some more interesting stuff.
Okay.
Is it time to go?
Time to go now.
All right.
All right.
One of
he
you
has
sp-
his helm, so he moves at
And I'm-
normal speed, and I'm a fishman. So
Okay.
we
I
should
mess-
get to catch
I
up
message-
easily.
I message, and any of you slowpokes, grab onto the frog. He can get you there faster.
Okay. So
I'm grabbing the frog.
okay, so as all this is happening really fast, Volric, you take off ahead. Chenyar, you grab onto the frog, and Bert starts to swim ahead with you holding on. Aspen, you don't have a swim speed, right? So you're kind of left behind in the hall as they all start darting ahead. Volric, my question for you, because you definitely are going to be in front of everybody. Are you being stealthy? Because you are going to be out in front of everybody.
Can you stealth and dash?
That's true. If you are dashing, you can't really stealth. You have to use your action to stealth.
How fast are this Sawaga moving?
They weren't, dashing, right? But they were moving very effortlessly through the water. They were definitely moving faster than all of your companions. Even those with swim speed. So you
my assessment will be, if I think they're going twice as fast as me, then I'm not going to stealth.
They were not
If
going
I-
twice as fast as you.
Okay, so I'll stealth. Here's what I anticipate. I'm going to come up the stairs, and then half of the prisoners will be dead or running away, and then we'll come up and a fight will happen. That's what he imagined in his head. I know that if I go all out, they'll probably turn around and fight us, which is like basically me and Rin first, and then I guess maybe Bert and Shire. So I don't mind, because they're going to find out either way, whether they fight us or they've seen the prisoners. So I
How
will
did they-
stealth and move. Yes, go ahead.
Not have to go straight, dude. They might just go straight.
Well, I'm trying to go to the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
But you are going to stealth. Okay, go ahead and roll that stealth check for me, and Rin as well.
I was gonna
Since
say.
You're traveling together, yeah. Alright. I'm going to see how far you can actually get. So you get to there. Chenyar and Bert. What is Bert's swim speed?
It is.
12.
Good thing you have a
and a natural
plus 10, yeah. Ooh. Okay. The Bert's swim speed is actually only 30. You know, it's funny. I love the visual, but unfortunately, Chenyar even holding on to Bert, because Bert is big, but you know. Oh, does Bert have a bigger a higher swim speed than 30?
60.
Yeah.
60. Oh, okay, then yeah. So then Chenyar, you're able to holding on to Bert. Bert takes off and is able to keep up with them. So okay, this is how we're gonna do this because I don't want to be super nitpicky about this. You all are moving as a group, so Chenyar, I do need you to make a stealth check as well, as you are moving to intercept this Sahuagin patrol. Aspen, you contacted Aize and Shifty. Aize, you dash down with your swim speed, so you can get 60 feet down towards the Aspen. Aspen, you see Aize coming towards you, and let's see what Chenyar gets with that stealth check as you guys start.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a disadvantage.
Yep, with
Correct.
the plus 10. Yep.
Okay. Oh wow,
What'd you get?
I'm on fire tonight. 29.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
A disadvantage.
So thankfully, you got that because the three of you are traveling together. And as you come around the corner, Volric, I think in your urgency, you come bursting around the corner. And Rin, you see this Sahuagin patrol. They are swimming towards the stairs, and then you see them start to turn to go down one of the hallways. But Volric, in his urgency, starts to dash out to help. And Rin, you were able to, at the last second, able to grab onto Volric and kind of stop him from going. And in that moment, you see one of the Sahuagin kind of stop and start to turn, pulling Volric around the corner at the last second as you, all three of you, come to a stop around the corner as the one Sahuagin kind of looks, the one that appears to be the leader at the back, as the rest continue swimming, going off down the hallway that was to the west. And then starts to go swimming back down the hallway to the west. Okay, we're at 7 o'clock here. So at that moment, as Volric kind of looks around the corner, you see them all swimming, going westward. The rest of you in the hallway in the darkness, unsure of where your companions are going, trying to catch up with them. That is where we're going to pick up next time, as Shifty is there at this doorway, not sure on what's in the other side. And I would say at this point you have 20 minutes left on your water breathing potion. So.
You said I'm still at the top door, or did I swim down with my dash?
I would say you could go ahead and move yourself 60 feet.
Down with the dash.
60 feet down, yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. There were some really close calls here, but thankfully you have passed without trace, because otherwise there could have been some real bad moments tonight. So, I will see you all next time. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you to all of you players. You all are wonderful, and this has been wonderful. So thank you. All right.
Oh my gosh, my heart.
See you next